Hello, and welcome to Nice and Blunt. I believe we are live, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure. Uh, Today, I'm doing something a little bit different. We are using StreamYard for the first time. It looks like it's all good. Bear with me while I have a learning curve today. Trying to do something different because I want to expand the channel in some ways. And yeah, so we're on StreamYard, and here we go. let's let's get it going. So, shit. How do I? There we go. There we go. There it is. All right. So the NFL Combine is happening this weekend, and we're going to be discussing some of the results and maybe talking a little bit about some risers, maybe some fallers. Things will trickle in as we are recording, and I am also going to learn how to effectively use StreamYard, because if you tuned into yesterday's stream, maybe we move back actually over here for a minute, just a little intro conversation. Yesterday, I went live with Jerry Football on his channel, and boy, I was humbled pretty quickly with StreamYard. What's up, Scott? Nice to see you, man. Welcome in here, and appreciate you joining. Yeah, I just a little behind the curtain type of thing. I use like a DSLR camera to record this one right here. I hate the camera that's part of the computer, and I was not ready to give you that wide view of a very cluttered room that I've barely spent time in this weekend. Didn't have it quite tidy enough for prime time. So that's why if you're watching Jerry's channel, I did not have the camera going. I just had, there's like a weird like software with Canon that allows you to connect your DSLR, and I've had it like fuck with me in the past, and it's just been like, nope, not working. And yeah, it was a bummer. The only way I knew how to fix it was to restart my computer in the past, and once that didn't work, it was like time to go live with Jerry. I was like, I think I can only give you audio today. So sadly, I did not deliver for Jerry in as much in the capacity I wanted to. So got to make it up to him. Really appreciate Jerry for hosting me. That was some really dope drafts. If you're interested, go ahead and check out his channel. You can find the link to that specific video over on my posts tab. If you click view channel in like a separate tab, you'll see posts on top of live and like regular videos. And yesterday's post was the link to that channel. So go ahead and send Jerry some love. We'll have him on the channel on Tuesday. And today I am trying to figure out StreamYard correctly so I'm not dropping the ball in the future. So just a little, backstory on what happened. And now that I got that out of the way, we figured things out. We are up with the webcam properly. And let's take a look at some of the combine results, shall we? Let us move over. This is the NFL website, NFL.com/combine tracker. And let's just review some of the participants. And before we get into some of like the specific details of like 40-yard times and, how they've measured so far, things are still happening at the moment. It's definitely not over. So we'll have more information and a bit more clarity in the coming days as I kind of break down some information and compare and contrast. But one thing I like to do is just look at the next gen stats, because those are kind of some measurables that we just don't know. And like, at least in this category, Jeremiah Love is like by far and away so much better than anyone else. Gets a 94 score. That's elite. Next best is Jonah Coleman at 77, ranked good, with Jadarian Price, Emmett Johnson, Adam Randall at 72. That's not bad. Desmond Reed, not someone I'm super familiar with, but tied with Nick Singleton. And then Mike Washington, last player above 70 at the running back position, also in the good category. So at least if you only care about that, maybe those are the only names you might consider drafting at running back. But when we look at wide receiver, some of the names coming in so far, Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Tyson, as we assumed, were much better. Elijah Surratt ranks higher than Carnell Tate. So maybe this is total bullshit. that seems pretty ridiculous. But Chris Bell, Omar Cooper Jr., I feel like speed is a big part of next gen stats. But at tight end, huge info on Kenyon Sadiq, given a 93 score. That's elite by comparison. Eli Stowers in the 86 category, and then kind of a big drop off for anyone else. Michael Trigg down here at 72, and that's really the only one I've like considered mixing in. Max Clare, I think I might have clicked once, and he also comes in at 76. So tight ends, Kenyon Sadiq, Eli Stowers. And now let's look at some results, because there are some absolute numbers that should be eye-popping. Like Kenyon Sadiq to run a 4.39 at the tight end position is absolutely ridiculous. That's going to be a big riser in terms of ADP, I would assume. But he's already the highest ranked rookie at tight end, already going in like round 12 or 13, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. And how much can he rise, given he's a rookie, until we know his landing spot? Not sure he's going to be like huge mover up the board. Like if you recall, Kyle Pitts ran a super fast 40 time, and Kyle Pitts took a very long time to break out. So it's good information to know. It's not necessarily a guarantee that this will lead to elite production his rookie season. It's impressive, absolutely. But RJ Maryland and Eli Stowers come in next at 4.51, and that's a stark difference, especially at tight end. That's not bad for a tight end at all. But to run 4.39 for Kenyon Sadiq, it's pretty ridiculous. The 10-yard split, however, is pretty important. That I think sometimes is a bit more important at times, because how often are you really going to run top speed for 40 yards in the NFL if it's not just like a big breakaway play? If anything, you want to separate closer to the line of scrimmage, and the 10-yard split sometimes is more important. Your acceleration from when you're stopped at the time of the snap is also very important. So Sadiq, definitely much higher than anyone else, 154. Next best is 159. And then if we look at the vertical jump, holy shit, Eli Stowers jumped 45.5 inches. Vertically, that's ridiculous. Kenyon Sadiq at 43.5, by far the two best athletes at the position, just based on those three metrics. We also have the broad jump to go over briefly. Stowers at 11 feet 3 inches. Kenyon Sadiq also over 11 feet. Next best at 10'8", and then kind of a quick drop off to 10 feet. Like, to get a full foot in the broad jump more than like the average guy, like that's pretty crazy. So Stowers, I'm glad I've been drafting him quite a bit, but Sadiq, I wish I had more of. I don't think I've clicked him more than once, just because I like some other names in that range. So that's unfortunate for me. I'm sure he's going to be rising. But the running back position has also done some drills. This is the broad jump. Seth McGowan at the top, but really, for the most part, we care a bit about the speed. And Mike Washington, why I put him in the poll, ran the fastest 40, at least at the combine today. 4.33 for Mike Washington. That's pretty impressive. I don't remember his exact weight, so I don't think it's listed here. We have to pull up his profile. How much does he weigh? Because that's also very, very relevant to like how it might affect. He weighs 223 pounds at 6'1", so that's pretty fire. That's very impressive. 33 inch arms. That's, I believe, on the longer side too. So rather impressive. I don't want to get copyrighted, so we're not going to scroll down and show you the tape. But yeah, I believe the combine is still streaming on NFL Network. So if you want to be watching that separately, be my guest. But yeah, fastest 40 at running back goes to Mike Washington Jr. Notable. Maybe we should draft a little bit more of him. But Jeremiah Love with some really top-end speed runs a 4.36. That's also very impressive. We got Damon Claiborne, fast man as well, 4.37. And those are the only three players who ran sub 4.4 at the running back position. So usually we're getting more players that can run faster than that. Definitely not going to pretend like 4.42 is not impressive, but not a ton of names sub 4.4. But Jam Miller, I can't say I know too much about him, not on my radar too much. Eli Hendrickson out of Navy, definitely not on my radar very much. Seth McGowan, though, I've drafted him a little bit, ran a 4.49 time with Jadarian Price. And then Adam Randall, who I have a shit ton of in round 20, ran a 4.5. That's kind of like the low end, like that's kind of the bare minimum of what we're trying to acquire. But you can still put up decent stats when you run 4.5. It's just you'd much rather have someone that can run sub 4.4. So that's interesting. Emmett Johnson, though, at 4.56, that might be good for us. If we're really, as a community, going to be right about Emmett Johnson's capabilities, he's definitely one of our darlings in the best ball space on YouTube so far. A lot of names such as myself, especially Who Hames and others, have really hyped up Emmett Johnson. Ran a 4.56. That's not gonna at least push him up the board too much in regards to that. When random people that haven't looked into him too much just see that, I'm sure they're not going to be super impressed. So that's just the 40 time. Let's take a look at the 10-yard split. Again, we got Mike Washington at the top with 151. Jeremiah Love ranked tied for third at 155. Claiborne. Emmett Johnson, though, did rank much closer to Love, so not at the complete bottom of the list in terms of the 10-yard split. And sometimes the 10-yard split is a little bit more valuable, like we mentioned. But Seth McGowan also at 1.6. Adam Randall at 1.6, Jadarian Price 1.61, and then Robert Henry Jr., the only other player with some stats here on the NFL website. But vertical jump, maybe not as important at running back, but still an athletic marker. So Seth McGowan, the only one over 40 inches on the vertical, and that really puts into perspective Kenyon Sadiq at 45.5. How impressive that might be. But Mike Washington also ranking pretty high in terms of athleticism at 39 compared to his peers. Not bad at all. And then the broad jump, we got Seth McGowan over 10 feet. We'll focus on the guys at least jumping 10 feet. Mike Washington ranks second at 10.8. Jadarian Price, 10.4. Randall also 10.4. But is that like the most important stat? Probably not. Three-cone drill, the only one to run it is Emmett Johnson, maybe because he didn't quite perform well at the 40. Maybe he felt like maybe I need to do a little extra, redeem myself a little bit. But in the shuttle, Emmett Johnson did have the fastest time, but only 4 players. So is that the most impressive? I'm not quite sure. And it looks like nobody did the bench press. But wide receiver is currently running drills right now, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they're done. So let's scroll through this. Nobody's doing these. The broad jump. Skylar Bell, 11 feet 1 inch. That's pretty impressive. Jeff Caldwell, not a player like huge on my radar, but Jeremy Bernard, not too bad at 10.5. That's decent. And I guess I'm not going to focus too much on was this the vertical? No, that was the broad. Vertical, we got Deion Burks, Jeff Caldwell over 42 inches. Skylar Bell also pretty high on the list, 41 inches in the vertical. Zachariah Branch ranks kind of high at 38. Malachi Fields at 38. Omar Cooper, 37. So not terrible, but Denzel Boston, 35. And then some of the big names don't do this drill. But if we're going to focus on speed, 10-yard split, we got Skylar Bell ranking pretty low, but Deion Burks leads the class this weekend at receiver so far. Jeff Caldwell also super fast. Barian Brown, Jeremy Bernard at 152. That's nice. I've drafted quite a bit of Jeremy Bernard. I have a feeling he might be moving up the board. Zachariah Branch also pretty fast in the 10-yard split, but Omar Cooper 154. I mean, the difference between like 1/100th of a second is not that big of a deal, but worth noting. And then probably most importantly, we do care about the 40 a little bit more at receiver. We got Deion Burks at 4.31, Jeff Caldwell 4.32, but Zachariah Branch, the only name so far that is being drafted quite often, 4.36. Brazel at 4.37. What does he weigh? Let's pull up Brazel's profile real quick. He's at 198, 6'4" though. Maybe Brazel might be
Chris Brazel
moving up a little bit. But Omar Cooper running a 4.43, not bad. And then Jeremy Bernard, 4.49. Not amazing, but not super impressive. And then the big names like Carnell Tate, Makai Lemon, Jordan Tyson look like they have not ran the 40, either not yet or they're not doing it at all this weekend. But I assume they probably will. Just wanted to go over some of these stats early on. But do they mean everything? Of course not. Or do they mean something? A little bit. There might be a little bit of hype regarding some of the names that have ran super, super fast in these metrics. But with that out of the way, let's move on. Let's head over to the main event. And here we go. We're hopping into a big board today. We're going to be doing at least 2 drafts, maybe 3, depending on how I'm feeling. Probably a little board will be involved if we do a third. But at least the first one definitely going to be a big board. I don't want to risk the location error. So last couple weeks we've been hopping in exclusively on the phone, but oh, whoopsie. Here we go. My bad. I'm still getting used to StreamYard. You got to individually select which tab you would like to share. So I do have it pulled up on the phone. Make sure my location is on. There we go. That's important. And then I'll have this in just a few seconds. I hope if you want to join me, I hope you're ready. We are on the big board on the phone, and I don't think there's a huge delay. I believe the delay is like on the 6 to 7 second range. So if you would like to join, please hit that button in 3, 2, 1. Hit it right now, and I will join in 3, 2, 1, and it should be synced up through the magic of streaming. We should be in a similar lobby. There are 6 more spots left to go. So let's pull this up. And now it's down to 4, 3. Looks like we will be drafting very, very shortly. So let's pull up this draft. Let's get it going. And no, that doesn't help me. It just changes the ratio. It doesn't make it more encompassing. But all right, here we go. 2 spots left. We'll be underway very shortly. And now that we're done with some of the combine breakthrough, let me get back to the chat. Apologies if I've been ignoring it just a little bit. We got Peppertoni in here, Fimpst once again. That's the beauty of Fimpst. You don't need to type it before anyone else. You're always Fimpst, Peppertoni. Appreciate you in the stream here with me. Why these kids fast as fuck this year? I mean, there's a few. Some of them maybe not as fast as I would have assumed, but you know, just the sign of the times. Impressive showings. If I ran like a 4.55, I would be happy. It'd be interesting to clock myself running a 40, but I probably wouldn't be able to do it super. You know what? Actually, I could probably record it on a camera as long as it's all in like the same shot, and then I could have just like a frame by frame breakdown of how fast I am. That might be interesting, but that's probably going to be embarrassing. I feel like I might be okay at kicking field goals. In all honesty, I used to be a good kicker back in the day, but anyways, college trains for speed, NFL trains for power. Yeah, I could see that. Especially like you can specifically train for like individual drills that you know will increase your draft stock, and like you might not have a complete skill set, but like if you just show up at the workout in a specific setting, that might be the difference between going 3rd or 2nd round, or who knows, maybe even 1st round. But what up, Josh? Nice to see you, man. Would you ever draft Jeremiah Love first pick? First pick, no. I'm only going to take him in the 2nd. I'm not going to reach on him too much. The landing spot is so critical. I'm hopeful he goes to the Saints. That's where I would like to see Jeremiah Love. I think that would be the most interesting landing spot. Obviously, a lot of people hype him up for the Chiefs, but I think he would fit really well with the Saints. I think they got to replace Alvin Kamara pretty soon. Their depth at running back is trash. And not a huge believer in Devin Neal long term. And Kamara has been breaking down as of late. So we'll see what happens, but I would not take him that high. Definitely not that high. But the realist, what's up, fellas? Sadiq, my most drafted player. Good for you, man. That's awesome. Love to hear that. I wish I had more of him. But watch him go to the Jets. Watch him go to the fucking Jets. We got James Cook on the thumbnail, but should I reach for him this high? Nah, I'll just take another Christian McCaffrey share. I'm not gonna hammer McCaffrey too much, but I'm not gonna take him never. But never know. Yeah, absolutely. We really do never know. Until the games are played, we really just don't know. We can project, we can hope, but maybe he goes to the Jets and it's all fucked. But Peppertoni, I know you love Achane, but I'm not willing to pull him up at 7. I'm more willing to pull up James Cook in all honesty. But you know, now that you say it, now that I'm thinking about it, I pulled up Hampton the other day I could argue that Achane could be pulled up as well, at least from a unique standpoint. It's not terrible, but Jeremiah Love does go pick 11, so moving into the first round, at least in this lobby, a team goes Love and Hampton. Not the most common start, so a little unique. I do recognize ladies first in here. Nice to see you. I assume you're watching. They've reached out via email, and good luck to you, ladies first. Good luck in this draft. But Josh says if I was a Raiders, I wouldn't draft Mendoza. I would sign Kyler and draft Jeremiah Love to help out Genty. So Raiders are the fastest running back tandem. You want Genty and Jeremiah? It's going to be wasted if you pair him with Kyler. We'll just go Neighbors. Definitely talking myself into Neighbors quite a bit last few days. If he can be healthy, the man can put up 200 targets if he plays all 17 games. Will he do that? Probably not. But going to have the best quarterback play of his career. Definitely an upgrade from Russell Wilson last season. And then his quarterback situation the year prior was pretty much ass with like Daniel Jones. So that's interesting. And, right. I wanted to play some música. I think we can get it going. Let me too loud. Some music in here. Jamie gave me the music. Definitely a valuable asset to have. Wanted to start it when the draft began, but I forgot. Anyways, we go CMC Malik Neighbors to start. Absolutely a risky combo in terms of some injury concerns, but can they be the number one overall player at the position? Absolutely. Neighbors probably not, but all he needs is a big spike in touchdowns. The targets are going to be there. He's definitely capable of being top 5. Wouldn't shock me at all if once Puka's off the board, Neighbors is actually the most valuable wide receiver. That should be going in round 1. Last year we took him round 1. This year it's just pushed down a little bit. But love this. Absolutely love this. Like Malik Neighbors with AJ Brown. I will do it. Buck Irving is fine, but we'll give that team at 8 a minor gift. I've been liking my teams a little bit more consistent early round wide receiver production. Just so hard to get receivers that can go over like 1,200 yards. There's a lot of receivers that go over 1,000 yards, but to go over 12 is pretty rare. And AJ Brown is definitely someone that can absolutely dominate. Last year was a down season. Should be better. Not that moved off Nick Makulo, but I'm also a believer that AJ Brown will get traded. So I think that's definitely a possibility where he could be easily back in the second round. I could easily argue I want him more than Justin Jefferson, even George Pickens and Nico Collins. The franchise tag, until Pickens signs it and is like actively participating in training camp from the jump, I don't know if Pickens is too happy with the Jerry Jones experience in free agency. So that could drag quite some time. I don't know if George Pickens is going to report to camp as early as we would like. The longer that goes on, the further he will move down the board. So officially, I do think AJ Brown's a better pick than George Pickens. But I'm not saying it's like a guarantee he'll be more productive. I just think for the moment it's a better pick. I'll take Safe Flowers for sure. I've been trying to get a little bit more Lamar Jackson. And the realist is that would be my luck. I assume this is in regards to that Jets comment. Yeah, for sure. Plus, Kyler Murray is capable of doing 50-yard rushing for the Niners. Capable of that, but if you actually look into his game log, man, Kyler is one of the most mediocre fantasy quarterbacks in the last 2 seasons. very overrated for fantasy purposes. I'm not a Kyler believer. Not my favorite like at all. But realistic, I train with some people down here in Miami, and Waddle said you are not going to play, but McDaniel took up for Lad, etc. I can believe it, but maybe I should be drafting more Lad. I'm glad that Jerry pulled up Lad on yesterday's stream with him. I was a little bit like, maybe not, but in hindsight, I'm really glad he did. Lad could crush. It could also be a little bit disappointing like it was last year if there's a bit more competition. Nice. Like there was with him. But at the moment, there's a chance we could get Lamar Jackson. That'd be nice. Lamar wasn't awesome last year. I was just so bad. Maybe it improves. With the new head coach, Lamar does get sniped before like they did. That's fun. In that case, we'll just go Darnell Tate. Hoping he doesn't go to the Browns, but at least in terms of receiver production, we got an elite combination of these four. Gives us the chance to maybe go Jaden Daniels if he's available. The team at Terry is at the 4-5 turn. And there is a scenario where Darnell Tate does get drafted by Washington. That'd be a sweet combo. But even if he is the Browns wide receiver one, I still think Darnell Tate can put up some good numbers. But thank you, Realist, for that nugget. Good to know what Waddle is hyping out. I fully believe this. I fully believe this. I think that is definitely a very legit expectation. Wow, Parker Washington picked 59. Interesting. Team false at the 11th spot. Don't see that too often. Wow. Yeehaw! Glad you're in a good mood, Josh. Glad you're in a good mood. Waddle is in Houston now with his family, but we'll be back in Houston. Gotcha. So, Wilson, what's up, man? Good to see you. Not sure I've seen you in the past, but I did see you in Jerry's stream last night. So, welcome to the channel. Appreciate you hopping in. And yeah, we're going to take a swing with Colonel Tate and say Commander. That rushing upside. Love it. As the QB5 off the board in round 6, we're going to see a big run on the position soon. So let's take our QB. Got to get back in at running back. Not my favorite values at this range. Warren's fine because they're lights out to a 69. But I'd rather have Jaden Daniels by a wide margin. You can take it or just read it and laugh. It's up to you. I mean, I fully believe it, man. I 100% believe that the Chargers' weaknesses. Their defense might take a slight dip given just an inch left. And at the moment, I don't recall off the top of my head their winners. But 100%, I'm super hyped for the offense. But just from a price standpoint, I haven't taken Johnson than Lad. Obviously I've been a believer that AJ Brown's being traded. Imagine if somehow the Chargers could acquire AJ Brown. Imagine if that could somehow happen. That would be insane. That would be amazing. I would be so fucking hyped. Because let's say they trade away QJ and a third round pick. Would that be enough? Probably not. But what if? We got Christian McCaffrey in the receiver call with the plan for Brock Purdy later. My 5th receiver, so I've been doing these builds quite a bit. Maybe I should cool it, honestly. I'm doing them more too often. But I do think there are some really solid positional values in every spot other than receiver for a while. There are some good receivers going late as well. So interesting breakout. Especially if I'm not relying on them as much, I think I can still put something together. Running back is not going to be completely worthless as we move forward. But will I have to pull up Brock Purdy is the question. I would like to go running back in the next round. Sure would. This receiving room is elite. Christian McCaffrey, Malik Neighbors, A.J. Brown, Zay Flowers, Darnell Payton, Jane Daniels, hoping that we get that stack with Tate and Daniel. But even if we don't, the rushing value alone is awesome. And then Ricky Pearsall for some more Niners plays. Let me know, is the volume too high? Nice. I think no one's mentioned it's really good. But Isaiah Likely probably getting traded, leaving Mark Andrews open. I think he's a free agent. I don't know if he can get traded. I think he's just a free agent. Pretty sure. Yeah, he's just a full free agent, unrestricted free agent this season. He can go wherever he wants. Will he come back? Maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. And honestly, if I'm gonna get stuck with just these two, I can call it done. Honestly, there's a little bit of injury risk with both. 30 gets injured more than I would like to only have two, especially when Daniels missed a lot of time last year. A little bit the year before. There's a little bit of injury risk in this combination, but definitely warranted when we have Ricky Pearsall and Christian McCaffrey. Those are by far the things that's stacking up. We can get Kittle a bit later as well. Push tight end a little while, but it's rather obvious. My team is a running back investments. We're not the only team with only one running back. The team behind us at pick 8 only has Bucky Irving as their RB1. And both of our strategies are a little risky. CMC, definitely risky, but let's bet on him and see how we can land this plane as we pivot off of wide receiver and quarterback for pretty much the rest of this draft. This is definitely like a max 7 wide receiver. We're going to have a lot of running backs on this team. And that's one fine way to go. Hope Elon buys the Seahawks. Are they for sale right now? That's crazy to me that you can win a Super Bowl and then put the team for sale. That seems mean to me. But I guess if you want to sell high, I suppose they might be peaking in value at the moment. So possible. Might be a good business decision. But that'd be interesting. We do another big board after this. Most likely, I would say 85% chance for the big board. So I'm probably going to do 3 drafts. There's a minor chance I do a little bit. Wait till you see Sadiq's bench press. It will destroy the record. What is the record on the bench press? Is it like 30 reps or something? Damn, I wanted Algier. I sure wanted Algier. I'll go Rico Battle, I guess. So major explosiveness in the Dowdle. If Dowdle can really give you 200 rushing yards, let's mix him in. Wanted Algier more, though. But Dowdle probably commands some good money in free agency himself. I would assume so. Ladies first takes turn coming. Autobus. Really punting running back. They Jared Goff. Trim ride. Elite tight end. I don't have a tight end yet. Dak Prescott, Jared Goff with JMO and Justified. I might have gone running back there. They can do what they want. Pretend like I know everything. I've definitely been wrong plenty of times. I might be dead in the water. Christian McCaffrey goes down fast. Who knows? Wilson does say the music is loud. Apologies on that. Let's pull this down a little bit. How's that? Is that too low? Let me know. I apologize. I asked y'all earlier. No one said anything. So apologies if that was too high for you.
Nice and blonde.
All right. Coker, I think, is a good value. Montgomery does get taken. So that team made a good call. I would have wanted Montgomery there, but we just take George Kittle. Ralaby. Let's do it. Let's get our stack. Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Ricky Pearsall, George Kittle. So heavy investment in the Niners. And then I'm sure they're going to be drafting someone or at least bringing someone in free agency. So perfect now. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. First time using this software. So apologies on being too loud. Hope it wasn't an annoyance earlier on. Who is my sleeper? In terms of like someone that's buried that I've been clicking like crazy, bro. Tank Bigsby. There's others that I will probably go a little further in depth, but if you watch these live streams, if you see me get into round 16, Tank Bigsby is like an auto click. Maybe it's round 17 or something, but I draft Tank Bigsby like my life depends on it. I am heavily fading Saquon. Might regret it, but I am drafting Tank Bigsby like motherfucking crazy. Tank Bigsby 100%, one of my favorite sleepers. Music makes me feel like I'm in a Persona game. Ocean's 11 music. We have Jamie to thank. One of the mods on this channel. I'm hoping to have him on Monday, I believe. And we will take Emmett Johnson. Despite the slow 40 time, we will take Emmett Johnson. Need running back. And I'm still a believer. The tape, I think, speaks for itself. Good volume. Sweet. Josh likes Parker Washington. Is he a sleeper at this point? He's going in the 5th round in this one, man. He usually goes in the 7th, but at that price, is he a sleeper anymore? I don't think so. Not sure that ADP qualifies as a sleeper. Tank Bigsby, however, super fucking late. Malik Willis goes at 132. Sadiq does go at 133. Thought I could maybe get Sadiq in the next round, but no, he gets taken there. Very fair. Rather appropriate. I would assume he will be moving up. Wow, Rashad at pick 134. That's a little steep. Don't see that too often. That's one of my boys that I usually count on, so that's kind of unfortunate. At least we have Dowdle and Emmett Johnson, but yikes. I was expecting to get Rashad in, honestly, the next round, not even this round, so bummer. But I guess when you have to wait 20 picks and that's who you want, might have been a good call. Maybe false read the board appropriately. That's a good click. Like Rashad, another good sleeper. Especially like to take him with Jaden Daniels. Ooh, almost got Debo. Did we just take Goddard? You know what? I don't take Trey Benson too much, and let's mix him in. We're going to be taking a lot of running backs anyways, so let's take a gamble with Trey Benson. Don't draft Trey Benson too often, but I have maybe a little too much J.K. Dobbins. Yesterday, we were reminded that maybe J.K. Dobbins is not going to be back with Denver on Jiri's stream. If he actually goes to the Raiders, oh my God, that would suck. I'd be so upset if he went to the Raiders. But do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're watching, we got 15 viewers, 6 likes. And if you're enjoying this stream, if you're enjoying the music, do me a favor, hit that like button. It's an easy way to support the channel for free. Helps me in the algorithm, expand my reach, and just helps me quite a bit. Very simple thing to do. Hit that like button for your boy. But Pepperoni ADP does not matter. Yeah, especially now, especially in February. Jaden Higgins is a sleeper. I thought that last year. As of today, I think he's okay. I don't hate the click. Where did he go in this one? He went pick 118. So cheaper than last season, but for the price, I've been taking Jalen Noel a little bit more often, just percentage wise, than Jaden Higgins. I'm gonna go Tajay because I don't feel too hot about my running back room. And Tajay is someone I think is valuable. Definitely not going to circle back. That team behind us, Autobus, only has 3 running backs, so let's get ahead of him before we give him 2 picks at the position. Scoop up Tajay. Pollard's going to be 29 years old. Pollard could definitely go down with injury, and that offense is going to be far more effective with Brian Dable calling the plays this season. And that's the play caller that often likes to incorporate multiple running backs. We've seen the RB2 contribute a decent amount in Brian Dable's system. So typically I'd be taking Rachaad White there, but Rachaad White was already off the board. So let's take Tajay. One of the few remaining names I'm comfortable with in terms of depth. But appreciate y'all for hitting that like button. Really appreciate it. Asking you shall receive. Not today, I guess. Who's your most and least drafted tight end? You know what? Let me pull that up. I can do it in a separate tab without leaving the board. So give me a second. What's my exposure? Travis Kelce is my most drafted tight end at 21%. And then Tyler Warren ranks dead last at 1.9%. I do not draft Tyler Warren very often. Yep. We're going to invest yet again in Travis Kelce. We're going with the 2 old studs, hoping they actually give me solid snap percentages. But watch Kelce retire. Now that I'm heavily invested in Kelce for the first time in my life, I've never drafted Kelce at a high rate. Now that I'm finally doing it, watch it just crash and burn. Absolutely going to blow up in my face. I can tell it's going to happen. He's going to retire in like a week, and I'm going to be fucking screwed. But no, I still believe. I wouldn't have clicked him right there if I didn't believe he was a good value. I think the Chiefs get the band back together one last time. Maybe he's worried about Mahomes' health and maybe leaves that alone, but I expect Kelce to be back. Hopefully I'm not wrong. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. Chargers better be better than Mike McDaniel rushing show. They should be. It's a massive upgrade over Greg Roman. If they're worse, that'd be the most disappointing letdown of the season. I would be so sad if that was the case. Which team had Mahomes? The team with Mahomes did pass. They went with Sadiq. I'm going to get back in at tight end with Isaiah Likely. And this is a room I think could work, but we could also just draft 4 and stop with Daniels and Brock Purdy.
Nice and blunt.
I mean, at least when you were taking him, he was going in like the final round. You know, it's one thing to be taking someone in round 18 at a massive clip. Those are often zeros in the first place. It's another thing for someone in the 14th round to be your like most invested in player at the position. Round 14 is still pretty cheap. But typically when I'm like drafting someone like crazy, it's someone that's going well outside the top 120, well outside the top 10 rounds. But Tank Bigsby does go to G-Temp at the 12 spot. So not going to get my boy. That's okay. What's my exposure on Tank Bigsby? Tank Bigsby is tied for my most drafted running back at 32.7%. I've taken Tank Bigsby 17 times in 52 drafts. We are on the clock. Pick 186, Chimera DK has fallen. We will grab and scoop up Chimera DK. A name I like, especially a good value. Let's get back in at receiver before it's too late. There's still some decent names on the board. Like Torrey Horton just goes. That's another guy I draft a lot. But good value on Chimera DK. Full round discount. More than a round. More than a full round. Trey Tucker. Does that team have Mendoza? They do. Big Truckin'. I've seen Big Truckin' in some lobbies before. I'm not sure if he watches the show, but I've definitely drafted with Big Truckin' before. If you are in this lobby with me, let me know. I'm not quite sure, but let me know. 12 out of 150 equals 8%, so you'd be overweight even if you stop taking him completely. Oh, 100. I want to be overweight. I'll show you how many times have I taken Saquon? I have taken Saquon twice. I have Saquon at 4%, and I've taken Tank Bigsby 17 times. Boy. A big gamble with the Eagles backfield there. I should probably take Saquon more. I should probably be closer to 8% on Saquon. I'm absolutely going to be well overweight on Tank Bigsby, 100%. I want to be, but I probably shouldn't completely ignore Saquon entirely. But sometimes I get sniped when I'm planning to take him. It's not always intentional. We also get a 15 pick discount on Tesla. Let's do it. I think I'm going to stop with those 7. Some touchdown upside with Tesla, also 15 picks past ADP. Good discounts on DK and Tesla. That's how I like to go about it. There are some names late at receiver that can really help you. DK, Torrey Horton, Trey Tucker, and Isaac Tesla are some of my favorites. Trey Harris also, but mainly when I have Herbert. And when I want to take them on a build like this, I want to be taking them past ADP. I want to get a good value. That is the goal. But so far, what's my build? We have a 2-5-7-3. I think we're going to be stopping at 2 quarterbacks with Jaden Daniels and Brock Purdy. I believe that's probably how it's going to go. But we got some high upside with Isaiah Likely, some high upside with Travis Kelce, a lot of risk with all 3. Definitely want a 4th tight end, and Stowers does go at 184. I didn't realize that. I thought I could maybe still get Stowers in this round, but very fair. Stowers should be moving up significantly. How much Stowers have I taken? I have 11.5% Eli Stowers. I've taken him 6 times. So I am overweight on Stowers already. But in this lobby, he moved up 2 full rounds.
Nice.
He goes in the 19th sometimes. And sometimes he even gets undrafted. Sometimes you're in a lobby that completely ignores him. But sweet. I almost took Emmanuel Wilson with our last click. Happy he circled back. Get back in at running back while we can. Our running back room has Jaden Daniels, Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Rico Dowdle, Emmett Johnson, Trey Benson, Tyjae Spears, and Emmanuel Wilson. Not saying it's a guarantee, but could still work. I'm not done at that position, though. That's for sure. Our receiver room is amazing. Neighbors, A.J. Brown, Zay Flowers, Carnell Tate, Ricky Pearsall, Chimeri DK, Isaac Tesla. And then the tight end room, despite waiting quite a while, is pretty solid. A bit risky, though. I still think I want a fourth. And George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Isaiah Likely at tight end. But last 2 rounds, we're looking at running back and tight end. Let me know what you think. Do you think I need a fourth tight end? Evertoni, so are you in on Eagles run game or Saquon getting hurt? I'm more in on Saquon getting hurt. I believe that Tank Bigsby will get several games as the starter. That is my take on it. But you force yourself, because if you like the situation for Tank, you should like it for Barkley too. I mainly like the ADP for Tank, assuming he might get some starts. Like if we get half the season, like let's say Saquon goes down mid-year and just doesn't finish the season, I could see 7 starts down the stretch for Tank Bigsby, and that's what I'm really trying to bet on. Down the stretch, especially in the fantasy playoffs, Tank Bigsby is their starter, and just gets a huge workload, and that price, we might be getting a starter for enough games to really contribute in my lineup. That is the bet I'm making. But Saquon was also kind of falling off a little bit last season. If not for the touchdown production, Saquon was really a little bad, actually. But if there's one player who can bury my roster, damn it, the handcuff just got sniped. I was 100% going to go Jordan James there. In that case, we're gonna take Adam Randall, I think. Yeah, just give me Adam Randall. Had a good showing at the combine. At least decent, maybe not elite, but ran a 4.5. Could be worse. But Adam Randall is just a massive human being. So it's expected that he's not going to be like the fastest man alive. Adam Randall is 6'3", 232 pounds, and ran a 4.5 40. If you're 232 pounds, I can forgive a 4.5. Here's his profile from the NFL Combine. £232, ran a 4.5, 1.6 split, 37-inch vertical, 10'4" on the broad. Let's watch the clip. Given his size, that's not bad. But he needs a good landing spot, 100%. I think I may have been going a little overboard on some of these like heavy wide receiver builds, in all honesty. Maybe a little bit overboard. Do we just take Tonjes as the handcuff for Kittle? Or do we pull up Michael Trigg? I see Peppertoni wants a 4th tight end, so we will do a 4th tight end. Or Chigo Okonkwo. Now, let's just further invest in the Niners, because despite Tonjes being a free agent, I believe he's a restricted free agent, and the exclusive rights say that he's pretty much guaranteed to be with the Niners again. He's a restricted free agent, not exclusive rights, but restricted free agent. Should be back and has learned a lot, has been a good contributor when Kittle has been down. So we got the Niners tight end 1. So that feels fine. Kelce at a massive value, hopefully, right at ADP. Just think he deserves to be going higher. And then Isaiah Likely with the huge upside of his like spike week potential. That's our tight end room. Quarterback room, we invested in round 6 and round 8. We took Jaden Daniels, Brock Purdy, And we have a huge Brock Purdy stack investment with Christian McCaffrey, Ricky Pearsall, George Kittle, and Jake Tonjes. Our only hopeful stack with Jaden Daniels is someone that's not on the roster currently. We're just hoping that Carnell Tate makes it there. But our full running back room is Christian McCaffrey, Rico Dowdle. I suppose Rico could also land with Washington. That's also possible. He's a free agent. Emmett Johnson could be drafted by the Commanders. That's also possible. But then Trey Benson, we're hoping, we sure are hoping when we draft Trey Benson that he's the starter in Arizona. That needs to happen. I think he's going to have an opportunity. He was a second-round pick after all, but he has refused to stay healthy. That's been a problem for him. Tyjae Spears, I think, is a good pick at ADP. I pulled him up by 6 picks to get ahead of a run at running back on that side of the board. And then Emmanuel Wilson at a minor discount, but super late, it doesn't matter. And then Adam Randall, interesting skill set, could be a good goal line back for someone at the 232 pounds that he weighs in, 6'3". Just a massive human being. Not someone I would like to tackle. I'd probably get trucked and knocked out if I tried to tackle Adam Randall. But wide receiver is really the strength of this team. No doubt about it. We got Malik Neighbors, A.J. Brown, Zay Flowers, Carnell Tate, Ricky Pearsall for the stack, Chimeri DK at a really nice value, 14 picks past ADP, and then Isaac Tesla also 15 picks past ADP. Good value on Tesla. Absolutely. So risky build at running back. Tight end, I think, fully works out. And then quarterback, I think, is elite enough where as long as they stay healthy, we're in good shape. But I'd rather have a super risky team that could finish 12th or 1st than a middle of the pack team that is very likely to finish 5th or 6th. Because in this format in best ball, a reminder, if we do not finish top 3 in this lobby, we will lose the $10. We will not get our money back if we only finish 4th or worst. So kind of like Ricky Bobby, as the fantasy flock Mason Dodd says quite often, if you ain't first, you're last. In these, you can be 2nd or even 3rd, and it's still okay. But if we're 4th, we might as well be last. So let's shoot for upside. Let's not give a fuck about the lack of floor sometimes. And I do think this can still work, especially if Trey Benson really pops off, overtaking James Conner, which I think is likely to happen. I wouldn't guarantee it, but I think it's definitely a decent shot. I think Tyjae is a good value, and then Dowdle, Emmett Johnson just need good landing spots. But if anything, Christian McCaffrey just needs to stay healthy. I wanted Jordan James instead of Adam Randall, but we got sniped by 1 pick. We got sniped at pick 222. I was pick 223. And Jordan James, who I was planning to take, was not there on the board. That's how it goes. Unfortunate, but don't blame them. I think Jordan James is a solid pick this late on the board. So that's it for this one. If you were in here with me, let me know if you would like a team review. But the only one I really recognize is Ladies First, and they did not announce themselves. So I'm probably going to move on pretty quickly. Let me just catch up with the chat real quick. We have Josh saying, dude, Schmitty was saying to draft Jeremiah Love ahead of Genty and to draft Jeremiah Love ahead of CMC and ahead of Jonathan Taylor today. I mean, I suppose it isn't the worst take I've heard. Like, I genuinely believe like RB3 is 100% up for grabs. It's hard to say definitively who should be the 3rd running back taken. I get why it's Taylor. I get why McCaffrey is also right there. I took McCaffrey. But I think all the running backs going at that 1-2 turn through Jeremiah Love, you could make an argument that they will finish as the RB3. So I don't hate that take. I think it's a little bit bold. We do see him now officially in the 1st round, so that might be happening a bit more often. Last draft I did, I pulled up Hampton to the 107. So I'm not going to pretend like the ADP at running back is set in stone and correct. Have I personally done it? No. But now that you bring it up and I'm contemplating it, I don't hate it. I'll put it that way. I don't hate it. I think it could totally work, but it's also a very risky play. And until I know where he will actually be playing, like until I know what team he's drafted by, it's a little bit too risky for my liking. At least with Hampton, I know exactly where he is, and I can talk myself into the Chargers running back being absolutely elite. Right now, while I trust that Jeremiah Love is an elite talent, I don't quite trust where his landing spot is going to be and if that is going to work out. Because watch him go to a team that just doesn't use him the right way. Like what if they don't franchise tag Breece Hall in New York and they do draft Jeremiah Love? I wouldn't expect it because it's like second overall. But like, what if they trade down? Not going to happen. But like, that's the worst case scenario. I wouldn't bet on it though. Jeremiah Love is probably a fine pick where he's going. You could pull him up if you want. I don't hate it. Not at all. Pepper Tony says Eagles were bad as a whole. Probably expect them to be a bit better overall. I think their offensive coordinator situation is going to get better. And then it looks like Lane Johnson will return. So the offensive line probably not going to get completely decimated in that scenario. But yeah, like the Bigsby bet too, showed some juice again last year. He's talented, man. I like him a lot. He just didn't have the opportunity because he was just so buried behind Saquon for a long time. But when he was involved at the end of the season, he did have like 20 touches in like 2 straight games, if I'm not mistaken. There was only one where he was the starter, but he had some big volume down the stretch when they rested Saquon and they locked up the division. Josh says Jeremiah Love and Mike Washington running backs, top 2 rookies, at least in terms of speed. Mike Washington fucking killed it today, so he should be moving up the board soon. But no one has requested a team review, so we will move on. We will do a little board next. I think we're going to do a little board. Actually, what do y'all think? First comment will decide it. A big board or a little board? Which one would you prefer? If I don't get a comment in the next 20 seconds, I'll just make an executive decision. I think I'll just go big board because I want to save some of my little boards. How many little boards do I even have left? I have 7 left. Okay. Wilson is happy to do a big board, but fine with a little. I think I'm going to save my little boards for after I review all the combine data. I think I'll save some because I only have 7 left, and this tournament is still filling very slowly. There's still 60% of the entries still available in the little board, so I'm gonna hold off just a little bit. Big board it is. Let's do that. Maxed on littles. Gotcha. Yeah, let's do a big board then. Sandra, ladies first, also emailed me mid-draft. Take a 4th tight end. Appreciate you, Sandra. Okay. Let me get in on the phone. Pull it up real soon. All right, we're ready. It is here. And there's a 5-6 second delay. So you can click that button in 3, 2, 1. And I will join in 3, 2, 1. Should be relatively the same. One more spot. Only one spot. So gonna fill soon. Yeah, we are now officially waiting. And we pull the 104. Nice. Not bad. We'll just take top of ADP at the 104. Probably Jamar Chase, but maybe someone else.
Nice and blunt.
Let's see. Wilson made it. You're there at the 106. Nice to see you, my friend. And if I'm not mistaken, is this the first time you're in the live chat with me? Nice. Is right. PPR Tyler's also streaming at the moment. Not bad at all. Doing some live combine reactions. First time drafting with you, Sweet Bo. Welcome in. Good luck to you. Good luck. And a reminder, there's not really any intentional snipes. If you snipe me, it's perfectly fine. It just is what it is. I'm not going to take it personal at all. But in general, if I happen to snipe you, it's never intentional. It's just what I think might be best for my team. But Yeah. Nothing wrong with friendly competition. That's the point of this. You got to be willing to get sniped at all times. Okay. Bijan Gibbs. So either Puka or Jamar is the click. And in the top 4, I'm definitely not going to get unique with it. I'll just take the exposure to those names. But give me Puka. Come on, ball master. Give me Puka. Doubt it. Maybe. Seems like he timed out. It's glitching, so. No, he goes Puka. All right. Jamar Chase it is. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see who comes back at running back. I'm kind of hoping it's Saquon. I'm kind of hoping it's Saquon so I can mix him in a little more. Gotcha. Appreciate you commenting today. And also hopping in. Josh wanted a big board. We are in. Josh, are you drafting with us? There was only one spot when we joined, so maybe not. All right. Very typical draft other than James Cook being pulled up to the 7. I don't hate that at all. And that's why I can also get behind pulling up Jeremiah Love if you want to. Not all the time. I wouldn't do it all the time. But yeah, those running back rankings, I think, beyond the top 2 are really up for grabs at the moment. There's several names you can really lobby for and argue deserve to be there. But Bijan Gibbs, Puka, Jamar, JSN, Taylor, James Cook, CMC, Lamb, Genty, Amon-Ra, Achane, Jeremiah Love at the 13. Pretty typical first round. The team I did with Jiri yesterday was also at the 10. We also started Genty and Hampton. And honestly, I really liked that combination. I really did. But not going to get Saquon today. He goes at 17 to Kavalaman. Or Kavalaman. Not sure how to pronounce it correctly. But I guess I'm taking... Now let's go Josh Jacobs. I view this running back tier extremely flat. Not a huge difference between Jacobs and Chase Brown, in my opinion. Chase Brown better for full PPR, but Jacobs a little bit more reliable for touchdowns. There are some weird vibes with him, though, rumored to be the case. I don't think so. It's just injury risk is a little higher with Josh Jacobs. But Chase Brown could also get injured. You never know.
Nice.
I've had some double chase teams, both Bengals, and today that's just not what I want to do. And we can get slightly unique with it, pairing Jacobs with another second-round pick. Not going to be the most common combination. We'll go Ken Walker. 2 second-round picks at running back. 2 third-round picks, excuse me. Slightly lesser used combination. Is it correct? Maybe not. Maybe the ADP is that way for a reason, but we're getting unique with it. And we've also been ignoring some like early running back investments lately, and definitely want to pivot again. I don't want to be doing just like strictly hero RB builds. I like them. I think they can totally work, but they are risky. Picking the wrong running back, especially, rather risky. But Jacobs, Ken Walker feels like a good balanced combination. And then Jamar Chase can be the wide receiver 1 overall by like a massive margin. So don't need to overload at receiver when you have Jamar Chase Anything strange happen otherwise? I mean, Bowers at the turn. T. Higgins got pulled up to pick 26 by Sam 1 Anderson. Don't hate it, not at all. Otherwise, nothing crazy. There is the team at 7 that goes James Cook, Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams. And then the team at 12 that also has 3 running backs. So good to have 2 in the first 3 rounds. Feel a little bit more comfortable as the run is going to come soon. Scatterboot already off. But Lad, that team at 11 goes 4 straight receivers, so they're adopting a 0 RB approach. Oh, please let me have him. Please let me have him. I don't think I'm going to get him here, but I've been trying to get... Damn it! Yeah, of course I get fucking sniped on Javonte. It is what it is, but would have liked to have him. I'll go Egbuka. Egbuka was a top 5 receiver for a stretch there. Egbuka was elite for a while. And the reason he fell off is because pretty much his entire offense got hurt, including himself. Egbuka was playing through the hamstring injury. Egbuka should have missed some time, but because everybody else was injured, he powered through it. And I think that's really the reason why Egbuka just wasn't the same in the second half. Especially once Evans leaves, I think Egbuka could move up. If you tell me Evans is gone, I'd rather have Egbuka than Tedera McMillan. Wilson likes Egbuka a lot, especially if Evans leaves 100%. 100%. On the same page with that one. He paid off at this price last year. He didn't quite deliver when it counted most in the playoffs, but for the majority of the season, even when he went this high at the end of the year, he still paid off. He was elite for a while. And we don't have a ton of him, but don't want to be at 0. I have a couple shares, but let's take him again. Luther Burden in the 5th. He feels better. Oh, wow. The team already took Caleb Williams. I legitimately did not realize that team took Caleb. I thought there was going to be a chance that I could get Caleb at pick 69. So maybe I regret the Luther Burden click, but we are getting a Chicago Bears receiver after all. A good offense to bet on. And Burden has some like true spike week potential, so it's fine.
Nice and blunt.
Don't click him too often. Thought maybe I could pair him up with Caleb. Of course, that was the wrong call. But I'm not saying it's the worst click. I just don't do it too often, and we're trying to get a little different by clicking him today. But I refuse to take him in the 4th. I will only take Luther Burden in the 5th. I will happily take Loveland in the 4th. I almost took Loveland over Egbuka, but I will not take Burden in the 4th. Just a man of principle. And especially when he was going like mid-4th, it scared the shit out of me. Didn't quite make sense to me. I think you just have to really assume and really make the bet that DJ Moore is going to leave. If DJ Moore is back, I'd be scared about Burden even at this price. If DJ Moore is indeed gone, sorry, taking some fish oil supplements. If DJ Moore does indeed leave, then Burden's fine. But I still think Rome and him should be going back to back. And I think I still prefer Rome just slightly more. But if I only draft it that way, I'm just never going to have any shares of Burden. Anyways, what's coming back? Evans does get taken. Would have wanted Evans, honestly. Don't think I really want Cortland Sutton. I was originally hoping to get Caleb Williams. So we'll just go Drake May. Now that he's like late 6th round, I'm happy to take Drake May here. That's perfectly fine to me, especially with how the run on quarterback typically goes. But when Drake May was being drafted as the QB2, I refused to take him. He was going in the 4th round at some point. Thought that was way too steep. Then he fell to the 5th, and I was starting to get a little bit more interested, but still a little steep. Now that he's firmly in the 6th, especially late 6th, yeah, give me Drake May. As the QB7 off the board, yeah, I'll take Drake May. His production last year was a little bit helped by his schedule. His schedule was super easy, but he's still super capable of putting up elite numbers. Has some rushing value as well. And then I also think they make an upgrade at receiver, either via the draft or free agency / trading. Hypothetically, for AJ Brown. Would love to see AJ Brown in New England or LA with the Chargers. Those are my 2 favorite landing spots for AJ Brown. And the Mike Vrabel connection, definitely going to be some talks, I would assume. I don't know what their cap space is, but hypothetically they could pull in Alec Pierce, but maybe I should go Ramondre. Nah, I'll take Alec Pierce. We need some receiver depth before it completely falls off. All right. The team so far has Jamar Chase, Josh Jacobs, Ken Walker, Egbuka, Luther Burden, Drake May, and Alec Pierce. Not bad. What is the Patriots cap space? Patriots have $36 million in cap space. If there's one position they might spend on, it could be receiver, but I'd be pretty shocked if they brought in Alec Pierce. I think that would be a bit shocking, in all honesty. But in case you would like to see, this is over the cap, salary cap space for all teams, and the Patriots come in right here with $40 million in cap space.
Nice and blunt.
All right. It's getting a bit hot, so I'm going to turn on the air conditioner. I'll be right back. All right. Here we go. I can't say if I like StreamYard yet. It's fine. It's definitely going to come in handy when we have guests on. But in all honesty, I think I kind of prefer OBS. I'm more familiar with OBS, so of course I prefer it. But Manungai, don't have much Manungai. Falls almost 10 picks, but honestly, it feels a little overpriced for me. I think Tyler Algier has a better shot to be a RB1. Give me Tyler Algier. Manungai gets passed on by the team with Caleb. They only had 2 running backs themselves. Interesting. They go DJ Moore instead, assuming he just sticks around. But then Manungai at pick 95. If Manungai circled back to me at pick 100, I probably would have taken him. But I do think Algier is more valuable than Manungai at this point, because Manungai is still a 7th rounder. He's okay, but Needs Swift to kind of fall off and disappear to really pay off. We could go Diggs, but not in love with it. In all honesty, not in love with it. Does make sense for the stack, but I think I'm just gonna go Baker with the Egbuka stack. Drake May, Baker Mayfield. We do pull up Baker by 10 picks, but he goes at 110. Our next pick is 117. And then in the next round, we could maybe get Chris Godwin to get the double stack. Could have maybe took a tight end there, like Oronde Gadsden, and hoped to push Baker back around. But very few teams in this lobby have 2 quarterbacks yet. And this is the range where most teams try to get their second quarterback. In the 9th, 10th round, that's usually the range where teams are trying to have their second quarterback. So that's what I'm trying to do. Just give me Baker. And we have Egbuka, so it's 100% justified. Don't have another known stacking partner. We took Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow went at 66, so we couldn't take him in the 6th. Could have maybe gone Diggs, but he goes there at 104, and Diggs is fine, but I don't know. There's something about it in New England where I feel like they're going to try and upgrade at receiver, and I think Diggs might be on the trade block. I think if they do trade for AJ Brown, Diggs is 100% leaving in that trade. That's how I feel about it. But he probably just sticks around, most likely. All right. Took my omega-3 for the day. I take 4 of these. Every day. At least I try to remember to do it every day. But highly recommend if you're looking for things to improve your health. Omega-3 supplements, fish oil, high quality fish oil tablets do a lot, have a lot of benefits. A lot of benefits. Nice. Not sponsored, not an ad, just top of mind. Thought I would say it. In all honesty, I'd rather have Jalen Coker here. But what's this team Sticky Kush going to do? They take Juwan Jennings. I'm going to go Jalen Coker with the potential that we get Godwin to circle back. Doubt it. Godwin obviously has the stack, but I think Jalen Coker is really speaking to me as I look a little closer into him. I think he's a really good value this late. I think Jalen Coker's very legit, and they have a very legit plan for him. Wilson, damn, I was gonna try to get. You mean you passed on him for Wan'Dale Robinson, so you could have had him, bro. Looks like you are trying to stack up Jackson Dart, and you don't have Jackson Dart. Why not just take Coker there instead of Wan'Dale? I get it though. I think ADP definitely favors Wan'Dale, but I like Coker quite a bit. Trying to get more of him. Also take Omega. Any creatine? No, but I know I should. I've been researching stuff that I would like to take more of, or just like include in my diet. And creatine is definitely something I could incorporate that I don't. Probably should. But I used to only view it as like something that like gym junkies do, and I'm definitely not really in that category. Shit. Before I get buried, let's just go with tight end. I need a tight end, so give me Goddard. Creatine super cheap. Yeah, I've been trying to be a bit more health conscious a bit recently, and like I just haven't moved on it, but I have seen some research that definitely like makes me compelled that I should be taking creatine. A lot of people also take it now for brain health. Yeah, that's where I was kind of sold of like, oh shit, maybe this is something I'm sleeping on. I haven't always been a supplement type of guy, but now I'm in my 30s, and it's definitely something I think about a little bit more. One thing I would like to also incorporate is collagen. Collagen also has some amazing benefits, especially if like you're conscious about your hair. My hairline is definitely receded a little bit. I'm not going to complain about it, but definitely don't look like I did when I was like 25 or younger than that. But especially as you get older, collagen is much more important to take. It's just something that you naturally produce that just dwindles a lot over time, and it's really good for like your joints, your skin. I want to say even like your eyesight, but that might be something else. But hair, skin, and joints, collagen, very, very beneficial. So yeah, collagen and creatine, I think, are the two I'm like probably not incorporating enough or at all that I would like to get on. But at the moment, I take omega-3, and then I used to take Shilajit for a while. Oh, I also have some Shilajit. I almost forgot about that. I do take Shilajit sometimes. And then I also take magnesium. Those are the three that I use the most. But yeah, creatine, collagen need to be next. Added to the list for sure. All right. Bryce Young is here. The team at the 101 only has one quarterback. I kind of want to take a running back, honestly, but given who we have, Jacobs, Ken Walker, Tyler Algier, let's just get our third quarterback and move on. We got Bryce Young stacked up with Jalen Coker. That's good enough for me. I don't take Bryce Young too often, but now that I've been trying to grab more Coker, being more of a cokehead, we need Bryce Young a little bit. And speaking of all the supplements, we're trying to stay young. So yeah,
Nice.
very good correlation. The intuition. No, just a coincidence. Just a stack. But who knows? Maybe intuition did play a factor. Wonder what the Panthers cap space is. Wonder if they could bring in Dallas Goedert. They need a tight end for sure. But Brenton Strange falls here to pick 148. Let's do it. Fuck yeah. Might regret my lack of investment at running back for a bit, but such a good value on Brenton Strange. Kind of got negated by our Goddard pick. We pulled him up by 9 spots, and then we get Brenton Strange discounted by 13. But now I feel pretty okay with tight end. I was a little bit worried, in all honesty, and that's why I kind of panic-clicked Goddard. Maybe I should have taken Sadiq, but at least I've seen Goddard actually play, and I think he probably returns to the Eagles most likely, and he can drop 20 points with like a lot of touchdown production. I like Goddard quite a bit. But Strange at a great value. The team with Trevor Lawrence passed on Brenton Strange twice for Cam Ward and pulled up Omar Cooper Jr. to pick 147. Passed on Brenton Strange twice. That's a bit shocking. Who's their tight end? They have Loveland and Kyle Pitts. Okay, never mind. That makes sense. Good for me. But the original plan was to take Hunter Henry. But I'll take the discount on Strange. At least get a little unique with it. Fewer teams are going to have Drake May and Brenton Strange than teams that have Drake May and Hunter Henry. But obviously the stack makes a lot of sense. Downs goes 157. Would have contemplated clicking Downs there, but I need running back soon, so we'll see about that. Theo Johnson off the board. Jalen McMillan, a good click. Would have liked to have him, but Not surprised he doesn't make it back to 165. If anything, I should have probably taken him at 148 if I wanted McMillan. But I have a shit ton of Jalen McMillan. Jalen McMillan is my 7th most drafted receiver at 19.2%. I'm at 19% Jalen McMillan already. So can definitely afford to cool it. But Rachaad White does go. Would have loved to grab Rachaad White. Wilson does take him. Very appropriate. Sadly, we don't get him. Instead, I'll go Sean Tucker. Let's take Sean Tucker. Don't have much of him, but definitely works with the Bucks investment, and especially with the team right here at the 101. Only has 2 running backs so far with Bijan Travion. They might double tap that position. So, yeah, Tucker, not bad, but I definitely prefer Rachaad White. I think you made the right choice going Rashad over Sean Tucker, but would have been really happy if you let him fall and then the team in front of me passed. But I don't blame you at all. If anything, if I didn't get the value on Strange, I might have taken Rachaad White at 148 as well. But we're at 172. Pat Bryant has fallen. Give him to me. Come on down, Pat Bryant. Round 15. Love that price on Pat Bryant. Fuck yeah. Definitely one of the names at receiver I think you can take late and really, really cover your ass at the position. There's a few I really like this late. And especially falling almost 20 picks, right? No. 14 picks. That's a bit of an exaggeration with 20 picks, but 14 picks with Pat Bryant. Love that. So here's the full roster so far. We have a 3-4-6-2 so far. We're done at quarterback. We have Drake May, Baker Mayfield, Bryce Young. At running back, I got Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker. Maybe not the best combo, but pretty good, pretty safe. Glad I got in early and a little unique because they're both third-round picks that don't always get taken by the same team. Not going to be a ton of rosters with both of this pairing.
Nice.
Algier hoping for a good landing spot. Rumored to get some good money in free agency. It looks like Schefter claims he will be getting the same contract as Javonte most likely. So that would indicate he's probably going to be someone's RB1. At least have a good shot to do that. And then Sean Tucker should be returning to Tampa. I believe he's a restricted free agent, so extremely likely that happens. And then hopefully Bucky Irving still remains in a touch split like he always has been. But Sean Tucker usually has like one massive blow up game for like 35 points that we can kind of bank on. So that'll be nice when it happens. Hopefully it happens soon and more often than not. But receiver, we got Jamar Chase as our stud. Egbuka, Luther Burden, Alec Pierce, Jalen Coker, Pat Bryant. Pretty good receiver room. And then tight end, I would have considered Dalton Schultz there, but probably saves me for myself. Let's grab our boy, my favorite. Let's go Tank Bigsby. Let's take him. Let's just further invest in Tank Bigsby. One of my favorite handcuffs, especially at this price, round 16. I take him. He's now officially my most drafted running back this preseason. This pre-draft offseason, I should say. But think Rodgers is playing this year? I do. I have a lot of Aaron Rodgers. If he doesn't, I'm kind of screwed. But he goes so late, it's worth the risk. I have taken Aaron Rodgers 16 times in 52 drafts. That is 30% investment in Aaron Rodgers. He's my most drafted quarterback this year. I believe he will play. I believe he's a good click. But we're going to go Mike Washington, who just ran a 4.33. Definitely going to be moving up the board soon. So let's grab Mike Washington. I need running back. So this might be a 7 running back build, depending on how these last 3 rounds feel. But honestly, I think I can call it done with 6 now. We have Jacobs, Ken Walker, Algier, Sean Tucker, Tank Bigsby, Mike Washington. Quarterbacks, Drake May in the 6th, Baker in the 9th, and then Bryce Young in the 12th. Bryce stacked up with Jalen Coker. Baker stacked up with Igbuka. And Drake May currently unstacked, but at the price, I think he's a very fair selection. Anyways, let's scroll down. Tight ends, we have Goddard and Strange. And then our receiver room, let's see if I can remember off the top of my head. We went Jamar Chase in the 1st. We took Igbuka in the 4th. We took Luther Burden in the 5th. In the 7th, we took Alec Pierce. We took Jalen Coker in the 10th as our 5th. And then our 6th receiver is Pat Bryant in the 15th. I feel pretty good about our receiver room on this team. But 3 rounds left, 100% in need of a tight end. I know who I want, but I have a feeling Wilson might be in the market. Might snipe me, so I'm not going to say it. I have a few options I'm fine with this late. I don't feel pigeonholed into strictly just one guy, but there is someone I'm a little bit more inclined to take if he's there than the other guy. I'll let you know who that is in the moment. Or if I get sniped, I'll point him out, but at the moment, I'm not going to say. Perhaps. I will neither confirm nor deny. I'm going to try for him this draft, so you know if you want him, heads up. No worries, man. I already have Bryce Young as the 3rd, so that's not part of my plan. Definitely not planning to do it. Damn it. Stowers goes. I wanted Stowers. Well, in that case, Torrey Horton's here. Fuck yeah, give me Torrey Horton. Hell yeah. Sweet. We got Pat Bryant to fall 14 picks. We got Torrey Horton to fall 19 picks. Beautiful. Love that.
Nice.
Yo, if Torrey Horton continues to fall, if this is his new price, I'm going to be at like 60% Torrey Horton again. I got up to 60% Torrey Horton early in this contest, and then I was like, well, that's a risky play. I'll cool it. Let's ignore Torrey Horton for a while. My current investment in Torrey Horton, he is my 2nd most drafted player at 30.8%. So he's going to be 31% owned after this draft is over. Love Torrey Horton. Freiermuth does go. Was kind of hoping to get Freiermuth there, but instead we will just take Cade Otton. Maybe he stays with the Bucks. Maybe he doesn't, but we need a tight end for sure. Goddard, Strange, and Otton. Wanted Eli Stowers, but Cade Otton, 3rd on the list. Also wanted Pat Freiermuth. Thought that maybe I could get him to circle back. I will be honest with you, man. I would have sniped you on Pat Freiermuth there. 100% would have sniped you just because I need the position. But instead we get Cade Otton. It is what it is. But what's the current team? We have May, Baker Mayfield, Bryce Young, Jacobs, Ken Walker, Algier, Sean Tucker, Tank Bigsby, Mike Washington. I think I'll stop with those running backs. I think I can be satisfied with those 6. Receiver, Jamar, Igbuka, Luther Burden, Alec Pierce, Jalen Coker, Pat Bryant, Torrey Horton. That feels pretty good, honestly. Especially with Jamar. He's going to be in the lineup pretty much every week. Tight end is Goddard, Strange, and Otton. Goddard and Otton are both free agents, so at the moment we don't have any stacking guarantees. I'll be honest, if Kyle Williams circles back, that's probably the click because I don't have anyone stacked up with May. But he's not the only receiver I'm fine with. I think I should go receiver with this last click. I think a 3-6-8-3 build is probably the right direction. Having Goddard and Strange feels safe enough. Where Otton should be fine as the 3rd. I don't think I need a 4th on this team. Not like the last one where we had Kittle and Kelsey and Likely. That one was risky. But yeah, so far, it's not the end of the world. Wilson, I think you're the only one in here with me drafting in this lobby that I'm aware of, at least. So if you would like a team review, let me know. NapGod asking if we're going to do another draft. Let's do it. Let's do it. But we only have 9 likes. This has not been a very good draft for the sake of likes. So let me get to 10. Can we get to 10 likes, please? Thank you. There we go. The 10th like confirms the 3rd draft. But low on the likes today. Oh, how's our poll looking? I'll end the poll. Looks like Kenyan Sadiq is the winner of the poll so far. We have 22 votes. Kenyan Sadiq at 50%, Mike Washington at 36%, Claiborne 9%, and Stowers at 5%. I'm surprised because Sadiq is already kind of high. Sadiq was the highest ranked among those names. I thought Mike Washington would probably get it. But like I told y'all, if Kyle Williams made it, we're going to draft Kyle Williams. Was he a 3rd round pick last year or 2nd? I think he was a 3rd round pick, but should have a year 2, like some kind of decent breakout. He's also a big spike week type of guy, downfield target. Kyle Williams is our 8th receiver. We don't have a single rookie receiver. Maybe that's a mistake. We have Mike Washington Jr., our only rookie running back. Definitely not drafting a rookie quarterback other than Mendoza in general. And then our tight end room does not have a rookie either. We wanted Sadiq. We wanted Stowers. We got sniped on both. So sadly, it is what it is. But Wilson would like a team review. Let's do it. And thank you, NapGod. Appreciate it. Very much appreciated. Definitely going to do a 3rd draft for you. We'll do a little board unless y'all are maxed out on the little board. Let me know if, NapGod, specifically you're the one requesting another draft. Do you have a little board available? I'll probably do one just for the sake of my my funds in the account not getting depleted too slow. But you are maxed on a little board. I'll do a big board for you, but I think our next draft, we're just strictly going to do littles. I think the next time I go lab, it's going to be only little boards, FYI. But let's head over to Wilson's team. He was there at the 6 slot. Yeah, he had pick 6. Goes with a 3-6-8-3. Has Lamar Jackson, Michael Penix, and Aaron Rodgers. 100% can work. We just need Lamar to bounce back. Last year was rough for Lamar, so glad that you went 3. Penix at a good value, not insane, but minor discount. Pick 174, ADP 168, so not bad. Is he stacked up with anyone? Doesn't look like it. And then Aaron Rodgers, you do have DK Metcalf. Did not get Freiermuth, so minor stacks. Do you have any Raven? You do have Flowers. Dope. Got the Flowers stack. That's pretty good. Also have Andrews, and then potentially Isaiah Likely returns. I think he might leave, but definitely cover your bases with both. And especially if Likely does leave, then I think it's a really good strategy to have both. You also got Likely at an amazing value. Pick 187, 15 picks discount. That's dope. I do like Chig as a solid 3rd. Don't love him, but I think he's fine. I think he's legit. Definitely legit. Not bad. But Andrews is my first. Scares me a bit. So let's see how else you did. Taylor, Ramondre, Blake Corum. Minor discount on Ramondre. But Jadarian Price at a 7-pick discount. Not bad at all. Sorry, had to sneeze. Tyrone Tracy is the 5th, and Rashad is the 6th. So strong running back depth. Ramondre, maybe not my favorite click, but I think given who you have in terms of depth, really nice combination. Very strong depth at running back, maybe at a cost of receiver, but let's check that out. Top 4 are very legit with Neighbors, Chris Olave, Zay Flowers, DK Metcalf. You did take Wandale at a 5-pick discount, so I understand why you passed on Coker. But Wandale's a free agent. I don't know if Wandale's going to get the same type of volume like he did in New York if he goes somewhere else. But odds are he gets paid a decent amount. Odds are he's a good click. I'm fine with that. Rashid Shaheed. Love Rashid Shaheed. Think he's a great value. Keon Coleman scares me. I don't draft Keon Coleman very often, but super late. Not gonna complain about it. And then I also don't take Darnell Mooney very often, but like you were saying, perhaps a stacking partner with Penix. Let me pull up something real quick. What's Mooney's contract status? Okay, so Mooney currently is under contract for 2027. And if they cut him, they're still on the hook for 11 million in dead money. They would only save 7.4 against the cap. What if they wait until after June 1st? They might cut him after June 1st. After the 1st of June, Darnell Mooney, if he gets cut, would save 11.9 million against the cap and only cost them 6.5. So maybe they keep him just because their depth is terrible at that position. He's still only 29. I don't fully know what to make of Darnell Mooney at the moment. I got burned by him quite a bit last year, so I don't take him very often, but a potential cut candidate, not a lock, to be returning to Atlanta. But no worries. Who else you got? Tight end room, probably the weakness of this team, and that's probably where you paid the price a little bit for drafting these early running backs. But the running back room is really nice. The quarterback room with Lamar, you might not need much contributions from Penix and Rodgers. So even though they're just floor plays with some injury risk, and obviously Rodgers could still retire, a risky quarterback room, but I think it's perfectly fine. I think they're going to play at least like 14 games this season, Penix and Rodgers combined. And with Lamar, worth I apologize. Apologies. I'm still getting used to StreamYard. You got to select which tab you want to share every time. I forgot. Apologies, man. So Lamar, Michael Penix, Aaron Rodgers, a little risky, but with Lamar can 100% work. Running back room is awesome. Love the running back room. And then wide receivers pretty good. Don't love the Keon Coleman or Darnell Mooney click, but that late in the draft, I'm not going to complain about it. Not going to nitpick too much. And then tight end is risky, but as long as Likely leaves, you're in great shape. I also think Okonkwo is an interesting free agent candidate that could be rather useful because I think he is underrated. And I don't expect him to return to Tennessee. I doubt it. So I think the team is pretty legit. Love the running back room. Like I said, receivers pretty strong, absolutely viable. Let's just hope for the best with Lamar and, this Likely and Andrews combination. But I think it's a pretty good team. I would give it like a B+. The tight end room scares me a little bit, but only because quarterback also scares me a little bit. That's the reason I don't think I can give it an A-. But I like the team. I think it's pretty legit. And especially in these ones, you only have to finish top 3. So a B+ can absolutely advance. I think you made out pretty well. I think the hero RB with Taylor went pretty nicely for you. I like the team. Just a little risky with QB and tight end. That's all. All right. I don't think we have anybody else in here with us, at least not requesting a draft review. So one last review of my team before we move on. I honestly forgot if I said it or not. I'm sure I did, but let's say it one last time. Drake May, Baker Mayfield, and Bryce Young at quarterback. Running back, a little bit risky, but I think it can work. Just need Jacobs to stay healthy, Walker to also remain healthy, Algier to get a good contract, Sean Tucker to stay in Tampa. I think will work out nicely, especially paired up with Baker. Some good value. Bigsby is my boy. He's a big plant my flag type of guy this season, at least so far. And then Mike Washington Jr. just ran a 4.33 at the combine. So expect him to be moving up. We pulled him up by 12 picks, and I think he's probably going to be going higher than that soon. More likely than not. I think he's moving up the board. But receiver feels pretty strong. I like the combination. Love the picks we got late at a value. We got Jamar Chase as our number 1, so that's obviously elite. Egbuka at the 2. Love him at ADP. Luther Burden, a 4-pick discount. In the 5th round, I think he's fine. Good spike week potential, but a little bit overpriced sometimes. Alec Pierce, I think a very fine click. We got him just above ADP. Jalen Coker, I'm starting to talk myself into. Love him. If I'm only going to draft one Panthers wideout this year, it's going to be Coker. I think Tet is fine to mix in. I think he's a little overpriced Coker in the 10th round, I think is great. Pat Bryant, we got 14 picks past ADP, full round discount. Love that. Love Pat Bryant. I think he might be the most valuable Denver wide receiver, not just in terms of ADP, but just like straight up, he might have a better season than Cortland Sutton. And then Torrey Horton, also huge discount, 19 picks past ADP. I'm someone willing to reach on Torrey Horton. So I am ecstatic to get this price on Torrey Horton. We also take Kyle Williams for the sake of the stack, get him 17 picks past ADP in the final round. And with our Drake May selection, that is not bad. Not bad at all. Our tight end room, a little bit risky given Goddard is a free agent. I expect he returns to Philly, should be fine, but always has some injury risk. We got an amazing discount on Brenton Strange, 13 picks for Brenton Strange. Happy to have him as a tight end too. I think he's a great value already where he was going. So to get him a full round later, love that. And then I also got Kate Otten, 9 picks past ADP. He's a free agent, might not correlate with Baker, but optimistic that even if he leaves, we're still going to get some solid production out of Kate Otten as the 3. So tight end, I think, is fine. Not amazing, but fine. Wide receiver, I think, is very nice. Pieced it together really well as the draft went along. And then our running back room, a little bit tricky. But I think if we get some luck with Algiers landing spot and Saquon getting hurt, I think this is a good, solid room. I don't feel bad about it. And then our quarterback room, I think, is pretty good. Drake May at a good discount, pick 69. Very nice. Baker, we pulled up just to make sure we get the stack. And then Bryce Young also for the stack. I think it's good. I think this team is like a A-, B+ in a similar range as Wilson's team. But if you like it, hit that like button. Thank y'all for hitting the like a little bit. We got Shamrock in here. Welcome back, my friend. Did I do some voice work in Alvin and the Chipmunks? Yes, I had one line in Alvin and the Chipmunks, and no worries. I brought it up last year, and then randomly it comes up again every now and then. But yes, indeed, that is me. I was the voice of Simon speaking in French. There's one line where Simon speaks French. The audition was one of the easiest I've ever had. One of the easiest ways to make money in my life. Literally went to the audition, spent 5 minutes in the booth, left, and I got a call one day, you got the role, and we're using your audio, here's a check. The easiest job I've ever had. Anyways, let's move on. We're doing one last big board. And before we box you out, before we join, we are going to pull it up on the phone once again. This is the way I'm going about it. Pretty much every time. We got the location error too many times for me to want to stick with that. But the big board is on my phone. I hope it's ready for you. And if you are ready, there's a minor delay of roughly 5, 6, 7 seconds. So click it in 3, 2, 1. Join right now, and I will join in 3, 2, 1. I am in. There are 8 spots left. Come on down if you want to join a big board. Should be a fun draft if y'all want to join. No worries, Wilson. Appreciate you hopping in with me in the chat. Appreciate you. Get a good draft. Nice draft with Wilson in that last one, and take care, buddy. See you next time. Yeah, definitely not something I'm sad to say did happen. Definitely a fun little tidbit. Appreciate it, man. Occasionally, I'll still get a residual for it. It's cheap as fuck. No check these days is worth more than like $8. But fun when you get a little random reminder of the past. In still paying dividends up to this day. But nothing to brag about. Like sometimes I literally get checks for like 47 cents. I've gotten a check once for 2 cents, 2 pennies. Yeah, exactly. You too, Wilson. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see y'all on Monday, hopefully. Probably not going to be here tomorrow on Sunday. Got some plans tomorrow. Going to be a bit busy. I have some tickets to a gorillas exhibit here in LA. Maybe I can pull it up. Show y'all what... Here we go. Let me get it going, and then I'll share this with y'all. Okay, so this is what I have tickets to tomorrow. House of Kong, Los Angeles. If you're a fan of the gorillas, it's like a big art installation that's all about gorillas. Going tomorrow. I'm really excited. And maybe the Instagram page has some more info. This looks dope. This looks pretty cool. Oh, sweet. Dude, imagine if you own this fucking car. That'd be sick. What is this, Camaro? Maybe not my favorite model Camaro, but that looks pretty dope. Anyways, yeah, I'll be there tomorrow, and got some other plans. So just a little insight into what I'm doing tomorrow. All right, here we go. Draft lobby has filled, and yeah, man, they're still making music. They're still around. They got some fucking bangers. Love them. But we pulled the 102. Fuck yeah. Hopefully this is a Gibbs team, but I'll take Bijan as well. Yo, Jiri. Thanks for hopping in, man. I'm so sorry about the camera, man, yesterday. Dude, I was sad that I let you down with the camera, but I'm just like literally like today is like just a speed run of like, okay, let's make sure we understand StreamYard, and hopefully we're gonna have Jiri on Tuesday. That's the plan. Jiri should be on the channel on Tuesday. Really looking forward to that, and hopefully we can do some more collabs in the future as well. 100%. This is the plan. Let's see what team won. Hell yeah, let's go. For Jiri, we're going to try and get as many Lions on this team as possible. Appreciate you, bro. Those were some 6 teams yesterday. Loved our Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow team. That one was sick. Our first team was also pretty fire as well. But we 100% had some teams that fucked. And I'm so sorry about the camera situation, man. Was caught with my pants down. At the top of this, if you hit the rewind, I address it for like 2-3 minutes. Oh man, I'm so sorry, bro. But very, very fun. Looking forward to have you on Tuesday, and hopefully we can do some more collabs together this season. Definitely looking forward to that. But appreciate having me on yesterday. Very fun, some dope drafts, and appreciate you hopping in. Appreciate you hopping in today. But Lolsimo, welcome in, buddy. Saw you on Huhaim's channel. Noticed you in a bunch of lobbies as well. Sharp Drafter, welcome, my friend. But yeah. Yeah, bro. We had a very, very sweet drafts yesterday. Head over to Jiri's channel. Let me link it in the chat. Let me get that going. If y'all have not done so already, you should subscribe to Jiri. Some fire takes, awesome energy, just a great guy. And here, let me get the channel page up and running. Share, give me the URL, and then let's drop it. There we go. There's a link to Jiri's channel. Head over and subscribe if y'all haven't done so already. Great new voice in the BestBall space. Deserves more subscribers. And he just cracked 100 yesterday while we were on the live. And he's going to be doing 100 pull-ups today on his live stream later. So that'll be fun. Good luck, bro. I don't think I could do 100. Definitely not consecutively, that's for sure. But yeah, bro, great teams. Appreciate having me on. Looking forward to Tuesday. But we'll be in communication very soon. Anyways, we took Gibbs. We'll see what's available to us. Neighbors goes at pick 20. Pickens goes to ladies first with CeeDee Lamb. Don't hate it. That's Sandra, right? She sent me an email. Yes, that's Sandra in at ladies first. Sandra roasted me in my email, telling me I looked better on Jerry's stream. You can post it here. It's fine. You can roast me more publicly, but take Bowers. Fuck it, we're gonna go Bowers. Mr. Mufasa takes McBride. I'm a little underweight on Bowers, and this will probably be a hero RB team for sure. But bless you too, bro. And then our boy AJ Brown in this round, 100% the click. And in hindsight, I really appreciate you pulling up Lad. In hindsight, I'm glad we went with that Bijan, AJ Brown, Lad McConkey team. Definitely a unique build and can 100% work. Glad you made the executive decision. I was a little scared to do it, but in hindsight, I'm glad we did it. So balanced start so far. Taking a tight end in round 2, sometimes a bit tricky, risky, but if anyone can finish as the tight end 1 and like overwhelmingly, Bowers is definitely a candidate to do that. It's a major quarterback upgrade. He's also not going to get hurt in week 1, hopefully. And let's pull up some Bowers stats real fast in case you forgot why he's going up here. Here we go. So year 1 as a rookie, Bowers had 153 targets, 112 catches, 1,194 yards, 5 touchdowns in 16 games. And then year 2 played only half of that as a starter in 8 games, played a total of 12, but had more touchdowns, 86 targets, 64 receptions. And then if we pull up his game log, there were a couple games that just went nuclear. Week 1 had 103 yards against the Patriots, got injured mid-game. And then when he played against Jacksonville, had 13 targets, 12 catches, 127 yards, 3 touchdowns against the Jaguars when he returned from injury. Right out the gate, just fucking elite. Almost had a 4th touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. He dropped a pass in overtime that might have won them the game. Got completely shut down by Denver the week after. I believe Surtain was draped all over him. But 12 targets, 7 for 72. Another game against the Chargers with 2 touchdowns and 7 touchdowns on the season. But got injured in week 1. Played through it for 3 weeks, then finally took some time off. And then in week 9 went nuclear. And then I think injuries still kind of lingered after the fact. His snap share was fine, but I feel like injuries played a big role. Also, just the terrible play calling and offensive line and just Raiders in general. Chip Kelly. Are y'all familiar with the report that Chip Kelly literally called plays that were not on the playbook, that just didn't exist last year? That's insane. But not going to go Loveland when I have Bowers. Between Scadaboo and Travion, my heart says Travion. I'm a little higher on Travion, a little less injury risk as well. I'll go Travion. Don't take him like crazy. Talked about a potential hero RB, but we didn't get a good value at receiver. Not a huge fan of pulling up a 5th rounder to the 4th. And it is what it is. But, oh, no worries, man. If you're driving, appreciate you dropping a comment. Good luck to you. Damn, I could go Scadaboo, but I'd fucking hate this team a little bit. You know what? Let's go Brian Thomas. Let's pull up Thomas. All of the receivers in this range are kind of very flat, a little bit Oh, whoops. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Forgot to share this tab. Still getting used to that aspect of StreamYard. But every receiver in the fifth is kind of flat to me, and Trevor Lawrence usually goes kind of on this side of the board, so perhaps we could get a Brian Thomas, Parker Washington, Trevor Lawrence combo. That could be interesting. But Thomas was going top 12 last year for a reason, a major letdown, but injuries, I think, are the main reason why he kind of fell apart. So let's get a little unique with it, get him on this side of the board. And so far the team is fine, but definitely different than some of the teams we drafted recently where we were so heavily investing in wideout. But that team at the 11 slot, what are they going to do? They went 4 straight receivers with Amon-Ra, Justin Jefferson, Rashee Rice, T. Higgins in the 4th. Damn, don't blame him for taking T. Higgins in the 4th. But goes Mekhi Lemon, just fully committing to the 0 RB. Not bad. But we got Mr. Mufasa in here at the 103. Also has a channel. Oh, no, I'm thinking of somebody else. Mr. Mufasa has drafted with many streamers before. Do you have a channel, Mr. Mufasa? Are you watching? If I'm not mistaken, you don't. But I know, in my mind, I was thinking of Bayou Bengal, and I know you're a regular with Bayou Bengal. But what up, man? Nice to see you. You have Jamar Chase, Trey McBride, Ken Walker. I wish you didn't take Adams. I really wish I got Adams instead of you. Excellent click there with Adams. And then DeAndre Swift, a very nice click in the 5th. I take him a lot, but I've taken him too much. So I've been cooling it with Swift lately, but I do love Swift in the 5th round. Scattaboo fell to pick 55. So a lot of teams passed on Scattaboo. Even Ladies First, who went 4 receivers, took RJ Harvey over Scattaboo. Good price on Scattaboo. That's not bad at all. But no channel at this time, but who knows? Yeah, you never know. It's worth trying if you're interested, but obviously I don't blame you if you're not interested. Never any pressure. But you have some good teams. I think you're. I have a feeling you'll probably make an appearance on like Huhaim's channel soon, if I had to guess. But we could go Drake May, but that is not the plan. Instead, we're going to grab Parker Washington. That was the plan. And while maybe I should just take Drake May at a falling price, I'll let Team 1 make that decision for me. Ideally, we're pairing up Trevor Lawrence here. No, they take Drake May. Yeah, appropriate. Ricky P. And we do get the plan to come to fruition. So a very balanced start. We have 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers so far, 1 tight end, and we have a big Jacksonville investment. Trevor Lawrence, double stacked with Brian Thomas Jr., Parker Washington. We have Jahmyr Gibbs, Travion Henderson, so massive spike potential with Gibbs and Travion. Both can drop 30 points any week. And then we have the best tight end, in my opinion, this season with Brock Bowers. I believe he's the tight end 1. Not by a mile over Trey McBride. They should probably go back-to-back. But I do. My current ranks have Bowers above McBride. So at least there's that. And we are staying balanced so far. Much more balanced approach than some of our recent drafts on the on the live stream. But this will be my last draft of the stream. Definitely not going to do a 4th, but appreciate all y'all for hanging out with me today. It's been chill, and now that I understand StreamYard, I literally spent like 30 minutes after Jiri's stream yesterday, just like, okay, let's lock in and figure this out, because I do not want to have problems again. Watched a tutorial, got shit underway. It is rather easy once I understand it, but had a very big issue with my camera connection If you care, I won't belabor the point again. Won't bore you with the details, but did bring it up at the top of the live stream for a couple minutes. We also broke down a few of the combine performances at the top. Maybe we pivot back when this is over, see if there's any updates in terms of the wide receiver stats, because they weren't the most in-depth at that time. It was still kind of early in the day for that. But wished Sam Laporta would circle back. That team with Fannin at 83 took Laporta at 86. They have completely neglected running back and quarterback. That's interesting. Yo, Jacoby Myers, fuck yes. Oh boy, triple stack with Trevor Lawrence. Let's fucking go. Love that shit. Fuck yeah. You know what? Maybe I should have taken Drake May with the AJ Brown connection. Potentially that might have been the move. Goes Rico Dowdle there. And am I getting a good price on Chuba here? I think I am. Yeah, pick 98, falls 9 picks. Don't love the receivers in this range. Let's go Chuba Hubbard. Let's do it. At the moment, he's the RB1 in Carolina. We also get him 9 picks past ADP. I do not draft Chuba Hubbard very often, but at this price, I will happily take him. And is an interesting team. Now I'm kind of rooting for a Brian Thomas trade. But we got all 3 Jags receivers. That feels really, really, really solid. I agree, Pepper Tony. I think I will as well. I hate that I have to pay for StreamYard, in all honesty. My cheap skate ass hates that I have to pay for this when I've been doing it for a couple of years now for free. But the problem with OBS, it is extremely difficult to host a guest and have them see your screen. And I want to have guests on. So I think in general, my solo streams will be back on OBS. But today was just like a trial and error, just increasing the learning curve, just figuring out StreamYard. So I'm just not a novice next time I want a guest on. I'm going to have a few guests on in the next few weeks. And honestly, like all season, a lot of the time. So at the very least, I paid for 1 month of StreamYard. And if I use it enough, I'll stick with it. But yeah, I would love to find a way to pivot back to OBS so I never have to pay for StreamYard again. I think it's fine. I think it's a little overrated. You know, I'm not going to shit on it. It's easy. It's convenient now that I figure it out. But yesterday I was really pissed that it blocked my my camera, my external camera. And now I understand how to get it linked up. So, you know what? I'm literally using OBS right now to use this camera. StreamYard restricted me to only the in-computer camera. And right now I am literally using both OBS and StreamYard at the same time. If that's not some bullshit, I don't know what is. When I went on with Whohames, it was fine. And then when I tried to go on with Jiri, it just blocked me and didn't give me the option to use the external camera. I was livid. So that some shit. They just have to be able to use Discord. Gotcha. I'm also not on Discord, so I don't use. I'm not, technically savvy has never been my forte. I've never been a tech savvy person. I know the bare minimum, but like when I was in film school, I went to college for film. It was kind of a reminder. I don't really want to have a career behind the camera. I'm just not. It's not my passion. I kind of get bored with all the details, and it's definitely valuable information. I will learn it out of necessity, but I will also drag my feet as long as possible as well. It might behoove me to go Tyler Shuck here, but does that team have Olave? They do. Instead, yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna snipe them. Sorry, but it is what it is. They're probably gonna snipe me on Coker though. No, he goes Concepcion. Let's fucking go. We get our boy anyway. Hell yeah. Sorry to the team at 101, but quarterback falls off dramatically pretty soon. And even though I have Bowers, I think Tyler Shuck is just a better click than Mendoza. And I've also seen Mendoza circle back around. That team with Genty at the 12 slot might take Fernando Mendoza. But if you don't have Bowers, there's a lot of teams that aren't interested in clicking on Mendoza. So he might just circle back. But we get Coker anyway. Love it. Yeah, I got to figure out Discord, so maybe I can save the StreamYard membership. I hate that it's expensive. It's more expensive than I thought it would be. But I did get the advanced version. Anyways, NapGod, yo, would love to have you on. Hell yeah. Send me an email at niceandblunt@gmail.com or follow me on Twitter/X. I don't really post anything other than like when I'm going live now, but I've been trying to get on there and branch out with some other people. Yeah, would love to have you on, brother. You have some good teams. You're in here as well. We'll review your team, especially at the end, but let's take a look right now. You have Puka Nico, Breece Hall, Devontae, Jalen Waddle, excellent start. Jalen Hurts from Andre Stevenson in the 7th, like that. Jadarian Price in the 8th, getting back in at running back, definitely a necessity. Bo Nix, good value with him. He's going to be healthy, so compared to the rest of the quarterbacks, he has top 10 potential, and he goes as like quarterback 18 or something, maybe 15. I think it's like 15. So he's a good value. Like Bo Nix as a click. Dalton Kincaid as your tight end 1, not my favorite, but to push the position is never a bad way to go. And then Emmett Johnson there, 124. Nice team, nice rookies, good receiver room, and yeah, your team is very balanced so far. I like the team a lot. Mike Robb asking, what are my thoughts on Trey Tucker? A little bit overrated. Some people really hype him up like crazy. I think he's a good spike week guy. He's definitely going to be on the field. At the moment, he is their best wide receiver on the roster. So at the moment, I think he's a great click, but I do expect them to bring someone in free agency. My bet is Rashid Shaheed most likely lands there, and that kind of takes some of his role. That team does go Mendoza at a discount. Bushwick Bills does not give us our guy, but that's all right. I'm not going to be upset about that. Juwan Johnson getting sniped, though, is more upsetting to me. I was really hoping for Juwan Johnson at this price. Romeo Dobbs would have been a nice click, but I'm going to go Jordan Mason. Almost went with Connor, but Connor has such high injury risk. I'm going to go Jordan Mason. I think the trade they made for him and the contract they gave him, I think they would like him to be their main guy this year. He doesn't quite have the workhorse skill set. He didn't quite look very effective last season, but I'm willing to go Jordan Mason. Interesting, that team takes Travis Hunter. Wasn't really thinking about him. And then they sniped me on Kamara. Very fun. But oh shit. Fucking 20-second clock might have burned me there. I did not want Connor and Mason. Okay, sweet. Thank God. Thank God. Did not want both. Downs is fine. Downs should be moving up the board because they are either losing Alec Pierce in free agency or they're going to cut Michael Pittman. They can save $20 million against the cap if they cut Michael Pittman. So I think odds are they re-sign Alec Pierce, cut Michael Pittman, and Josh Downs will be much more valuable than a round 13 click, if you ask me. Not elite, a bit mid, a bit more of a floor play, but definitely going to get a lot of targets, definitely capable of putting up consistent usage. And although the quarterback situation there is kind of gross, I think it's fine at this price. I have been mixing in Downs quite often, especially instead of Ayuk. I've been trying to not click Ayuk anywhere near as much this year as I have in the past. And I'll go Josh Downs as a pretty big pivot. We have a lot of Jalen McMillan, a decent amount of Downs so far. But could have gone Rashad White, but with the timer kind of expiring, it is what it is. Stroud falls to 154. I'm a bit shocked that team with Nico Collins did not take Stroud, but they went Ayuk instead. They also took Dobbins ahead of that. That's Natball. Natball does not like Stroud. I don't blame you. Stroud scares me, but that was a decent fall in price. Would not have blamed you for taking Stroud at all, but I also don't blame you for passing. I passed on him twice at a good ADP fall as well. Don't blame you at all. He kind of sucks a little bit. Not like not like insane, but he's been really bad since his rookie season for fantasy purposes. They've made the playoffs consistently, but for fantasy, Stroud has been really bad since his rookie year. Appreciate you, Danimal. Appreciate you a lot. And we definitely have Jamie to thank for this music. The music definitely heightens the stream. I'm going to keep the music. Maybe request a few other songs so it's not the same song every single time. But yeah, the rhythm of this song definitely super chill. Love it. No worries. I think you might have saved yourself. I'm not convinced that Davis Mills isn't going to be a little bit more valuable than Stroud. That's a hot take, but I'm not convinced that that's the case. I might just go Penix. I think that's what I'm going to do. Oh, fuck. Why did I think I had Bijan? Sometimes you forget, man. I just forgot I had Gibbs. I thought I had fucking Bijan for some reason. That was dumb. We sniped team one on both quarterback stats. They sniped me unlikely though. That's fine. Yeah, let's do it. Omar Cooper Jr., come on down. Would love to see him with the Falcons. Falcons have to draft a receiver, right? If the Falcons don't draft a receiver, what the fuck are they doing? So let's hope that that's the stack we're getting. Give me Omar Cooper Jr., pick 170. Hoping he lands with the Falcons. That's such a big need for Atlanta, right? They need a receiver desperately. They're going to franchise tag Kyle Pitts. They might move off of Darnell Mooney, but even if they don't, he kind of sucks. Drake London is good, but can't do everything himself. They have Bijan, so their offense is fine. Their O-line is decent. I could see them draft another O-lineman just for the depth, but if anything, they probably draft like a defensive lineman, a defensive guy in the first if they're not taking receiver. But I absolutely believe receiver is a position of need for Atlanta, and so grabbing a rookie with the potential that he lands with the Falcons is the hope there. But Omar Cooper Jr., I think, is just also an excellent click. Super talented. Should be good. What's my exposure on Omar Cooper Jr.? Omar Cooper Jr. is my third most highest drafted player. I have him at 27%. That's going to go up after this draft. So big investment on Omar Cooper Jr. Also have a lot of Jeremy Bernard. Those are the two rookies I'm taking the most at receiver. Omar Cooper Jr., Jeremy Bernard. Here, I'll share you this tab for a minute. My most drafted guy is QJ, Torrey Horton, Omar Cooper Jr., Jeremy Bernard, Pat Bryant, DK, Surratt, McMillan, Mike Evans, T. Higgins. I have a lot of T. Higgins. Booty, Rashid Shaheed, Devontae Adams, Egbuka. Where's A.J. Brown? A.J. Brown should be pretty high, 13.5%. Is this updated with our last one too? I feel like it's higher. Yeah, AJ Brown now going to be at like 18% after this draft. Oh fuck, I'm on the clock. Who do we want? Who do we want? Who do we want? Yeah, let's just do that. Big discount on Kamari DK. That's perfectly fine. I have a lot of DK already, but that was our 8th receiver. We're done. We need tight ends. We have Penix, Shuck, and Lawrence.
Nice and blunt.
We missed out on the stacks. Yup. Indeed. Indeed. Let's get some upside with Gunnar Helm. We do have Brock Bowers though, so it's not critical for me to be. Oh fuck! I should have taken running back there. 100% should have taken running back. That's fine. We needed a tight end anyways. We have 3 rounds left. It's fine. But like Gunnar Helm a lot. Typically, the Brian Dable tight end is pretty solid. And I do expect Chigo Okonkwo to be leaving. So Gunnar Helm was already starting to overtake him a little bit, already putting up some good stats. Let me pull up Gunnar Helm's game log. Because I felt like he was... If you really pay attention, then you know he's a pretty popular name to be rising up the board. But this is Gunnar Helm's game log last season, and it took him a minute, but down the stretch there were some good target games for him. Like let's just look at these games in particular. 8-game stretch, his per game average was 4.5 targets, 3.6 catches, 28 yards. Not amazing, only 1 touchdown. That is kind of ass, actually. Actually really sucks. But multiple games with 7 targets, 6 catches. In full PPR, he's a little bit more appealing. But we just expect that the Titans offense can be much better. And I'm willing to take a swing on him. But maybe that wasn't a great click. Honestly, looking at those stats kind of made me regret taking him quite often. But he goes kind of late. Parkinson is probably a much safer bet. Colby Parkinson probably much better value. But TJ Hawkinson going to get cut. Don't think he's a good value. We don't know where he's going to land. I think the Vikings are in a tough cap situation. And if they cut him after June 1st, I think they can save like $15 million against the cap. So we'll see what happens. But I think they're going to be moving on to Josh Oliver. We spoke about that with Jiri on his channel yesterday. So that was fun. But now that I looked up Gunnar Helm's stats, maybe Parkinson is more appealing. Let me show you Okonkwo though, because he was still battling with Okonkwo. Am I on the clock soon? Yeah, maybe I don't do that yet. Maybe we just focus first. I wish I took Mike Washington with our last pick. Oh, he went 171. My mistake. Mr. Mufasa took him very early, actually. I thought he was still on the board. Goes Jeremy Bernard. Good click. We're going to take Damon Claiborne. Ran pretty quickly today. Sub 4.4. One of the few players to do that. So definitely going to be some hype on him. Expecting to move up. We do have Gibbs as our anchor. So it's not the end of the world, this running back room. It's definitely different than what I normally do. A little bit odd. But I'm also going to get a touch unique with this next pick. It's either LaQuint Allen or are we taking another tight end? I don't think so. Give me LaQuint Allen. Another Jacksonville correlation. And LeQuint is an elite pass catcher. LeQuint could literally average like 4.5 receptions per game if they do indeed move off of Travis Etienne.
Nice.
Sadiq to Minnesota. That's a pretty good call, Nap. That's actually a really good call. Because they don't need that many pieces. And if they are going to move off Hawkinson, that's a good call. Where are they drafting? What's their pick? I think it's middle first. It's not in the 20s, obviously, but it's not like 10 or 11 either. I think it's like 13 or 14. This is the draft order. The Vikings are picking 18th. Okay. Pick number 18 instead. Maybe the Buccaneers draft him. Maybe the Rams aren't going to draft another tight end. Could the Ravens draft him? I doubt it, but it's possible, I suppose. Bucks could do it. Bucks might just move off Otten and draft Sadiq. But yeah, I like that call a lot. Hopefully he doesn't go to the Jets. That would fucking suck. Jets have 2 first-round picks. But, right, we were going to talk about Chigo Okonkwo real quick. Game log. 20-25. So competing with Gunnar Helm down the stretch, Chig was also getting a lot of volume. 6 targets, 8 targets, 7 targets, 5 targets those last 4 weeks. There's going to be 79 targets at the tight end position up for grabs in Tennessee that we assume are going to almost entirely go to Gunnar Helm. That's the assumption. That's the argument when you click Gunnar Helm. Talented player, flashed a little bit, not insane, but had a lot of competition with the veteran Chigo Okonkwo, who is a free agent, and odds are will be moving on. And had 79 targets that should mostly go to Gunnar Helm. At the very least, I would probably project about 80 targets for Gunnar Helm this upcoming season. And if that's what he's going to get going this late, I think he is a good value. Normally, I only take him with Cam Ward, but I am on the clock. Could go Chris Bell. I don't have a lot of Chris Bell. Could also go Max Clare, Michael Trigg. We go Michael Trigg. Brock Bowers, Gunnar Helm, Michael Trigg. If Helm doesn't do shit, we have Michael Trigg, and with Bowers we can get some flex contributions as well. Maybe not the most necessary click, but I kind of talked myself out of the Gunnar Helm hype just a little bit when we looked up his stats. I think he's still fine, but needs Okonkwo to move on, and then I'm also expecting somebody new to be added there in Tennessee at receiver. I could see them draft a receiver with their first pick or even their second round pick. So maybe there is some more target competition in Tennessee. But a final team review: Trevor Lawrence, Tyler Shuck, Michael Penix. Shuck and Penix are unstacked. Not my favorite quarterback room. If there's one pick I would have liked to change, instead of drafting Jordan Mason or Josh Downs, one of those two, I wish I took Cam Ward. I really wish I had Cam Ward instead of Michael Penix on this team. And then instead of Penix, we could have gotten, I guess, Mike Washington if we pulled him up. Or, maybe just something different happens and one of those running backs was available. But in hindsight, I think if I had just taken Cam Ward, Tyjae Spears instead of Mason and Downs, I might have liked this team better. And then we could have just taken Kayshon Boutte instead of Penix. And then we'd have a lot of Tennessee Titans, and I would feel a little bit better. That's how I wish I could have changed this team. in hindsight. But
Nice.
a full reminder on the entire roster, we go 3-6-8-3. Trevor Lawrence, Tyler Shuck, Michael Penix. Not my favorite quarterback room so far, but not atrocious either. Gibbs as our anchor definitely saves me, but not my favorite running back room in totality. Travion Henderson, elite upside, but Ramondre's going pretty high for reason as well. Travion scares me a little bit, but elite spike week potential for the sake of best ball. So I believe in him. I hope it works out, but a little risky. Chuba Hubbard at a good value, 8 picks past ADP. I don't take him very often, but good to mix him in well past his typical price. But at the moment, I'm more inclined to just take Jonathan Brooks if I'm going to invest in a Panthers running back. For the price, I think I'd rather take Jonathan Brooks as of today. But Hubbard's still fine. I don't want to tell you that Hubbard's a terrible click, but he really fell off behind Rico Dowdle once Dowdle popped off. Chuba Hubbard was relegated to a backup rather quickly. I don't think it's the best click on the board as of today. Mason needs some luck with that. That also feels like a bad click in hindsight. I think I kind of shit the bed with some of the running back depth here. I don't love it, but we do have Gibbs, so I guess it's okay. But Claiborne needs some a good landing spot. We pulled him up a little bit. He ran a pretty fast 40 today, so probably expect some hype on him, at least an ADP rising pretty soon. LaQuint Allen for the Jaguars combo. Let's bet against ETN. Maybe Tootin goes down. And LaQuint Allen is an elite pass catcher. So that's definitely a player that could really contribute in terms of our stacking combination. But it's just a Liam Cohen running back. But I need to show you this, because if you don't know, LaQuint Allen was a 7th round pick. Not very high investment, but they drafted him for a reason in Jacksonville. And as a sophomore, had 38 receptions. And then as a junior, had 64 catches as a junior at Syracuse. Had 1,542 yards with 64 receptions, 521 yards. LaQuint is an insane 3rd down running back. And I think that's probably why they might be more comfortable moving on from Travis Etienne. Pepper Tony, fully agree. Tootin Allen could be an awesome 1-2 punch, and especially when you have Trevor Lawrence. LaQuint Allen might be catching a shit ton of receptions. Also great in pass protection, says Losimo. He's talented, especially when just anyone that declares for the draft as a junior is really impressive, but also like 2 straight seasons with over 1,000 rushing yards at Syracuse. Also had 20 total touchdowns. Like his junior year, he was fucking awesome. 292 touches, 1,542 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 64 of those touches were catches. LaQuint is underrated. I was kind of surprised he fell to the 7th round. That was pretty shocking, but last year's running back class was pretty good, so maybe that's the only reason why. Anyways, he's on our team, usually goes undrafted, so at least it's unique. But our receiver room is also interesting. We have A.J. Brown as the number 1. Then we pulled up Brian Thomas with the plan to take Trevor Lawrence. We got Parker Washington, and then we got Jacoby Myers to also fall 11 picks. I have an elite Jaguar stack, at least in that regard. This team has some tremendous upside and very nice correlation. We also have some no, we do not have divisional correlation with Jalen Coker. Almost it's AFC versus NFC. My bad. But we have Jalen Coker. I'm talking myself into him being an excellent click where he's going. Oh shit. My bad. I'm still not used to this. See, this is one thing I don't like about StreamYard. You got to fucking designate which tab every fucking time. My bad. Let's just remind you again. So Trevor Lawrence, our QB1, we told you about the quarterback room. The running back room is fine. But receiver is pretty interesting when you consider this insane Jaguars investment. A.J. Brown, Brian Thomas, Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers. And I kind of hope that Brian Thomas gets traded for the sake of this build. That might be nice if that does happen. But then Jalen Coker is the 5th. Love that. Josh Downs is number 6. Love that. Omar Cooper Jr. number 7. Love that. And then Chimeri DK, we got to fall a full 19 picks, almost 2 full rounds. So a great price, a player I like a lot at ADP. So to get him that much lower, that felt really good. And then we have Bowers, so the best tight end in the entire lobby. Gunnar Helm, Michael Trigg with some upside, and hoping for the best on Michael Trigg. But definitely don't need either Gunnar Helm or Trigg to be that involved too often when you have Bowers. So elite tight end, not the best running back room, but we do have Gibbs. And then our quarterback room is not very well correlated. I really wish I had Cam Ward instead of Michael Penix. So I would give this team a B. I wouldn't say it's my best team, but I think because of this insane Jaguar stack, I like it a little bit extra. That I think redeems this team a little bit more. But running back scares me. A pretty big scary combo at running back if Chuba does not deliver. Because I could see Mason really shit the bed. I could see Claiborne be a 0. And then even though we have a correlated piece with LeQuint, I could see him be ass as well. I could see him suck. Would I ever go elite tight end and just stop at 1? Probably not. But I have done it once, and I don't think it's like insane to try. But in general, no. In general, I'm not going to do it. I think I probably should have just taken 2 with Bowers, but especially mixing in Michael Trigg, that could be a 0 at the position. So I don't think I would recommend stopping at 1 tight end. I think it's worth having the second one, but I get at least considering it. I've considered it in the past, and whenever I've done it, I've been like, this feels a little unwise. But we do have some teams drafting in here with us. We have Mr. Mufasa. I believe Mufasa would have liked a. Do you want a team review? Are you interested? I at least want to see what you went with. Jamar Chase, Trey McBride, Walker, Adams. Love that Adams price. Love the Swift click as well. Let's just see the full breakdown. Let's do it. Okay. Mr. Mufasa in here at pick 3. Joe Burrow, Stafford, Tua. Not in love with Tua, but it's round 20, worth a swing, and Burrow and Stafford, as long as they stay healthy, are going to be phenomenal. So I think you have 2 top 10 quarterbacks worth the risk with Tua. It's probably correlated to justify in some way, but we'll find out. Walker, Swift, Warren, not bad at all. Sean Tucker, Mike Washington, you pulled up by 37 picks. So you are a full believer. He is a massive riser. I get it. Definitely going to be moving up the board with that speed on display at the combine. And then Brian Robinson, slightly past ADP. I like that click a lot. Definitely one of the valuable players at that range of the draft. So love the running back room. Super balanced, high upside, good combinations, and very high floor. Love the running back room. Wide receiver, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Xavier Worthy, Chris Godwin. So a little bit thin beyond Adams, but Debo, a really good price on Dobbs at 142. He's been falling. I know he only 4 picks in this one, but I feel like he's a name that should be moving up, honestly. So I like the Dobbs click a lot. Jalen McMillan, love that click, even above ADP. You took Jeremy Bernard, probably going to rise up after his combine performance. It was decent, so it might be more commonly drafted moving forward. But he's been rising decently last couple weeks. And then Christian Kirk, I also like as well. Christian Kirk, I believe, is a free agent, and he might be going somewhere where he can really contribute. Let me confirm. Yeah, looks like Christian Kirk, I believe, is a free agent. Yes, he is. So I like him a lot at the end. I don't take him like all the time, obviously, but I've taken him on the live stream a couple times. I've taken him a few times off the live stream. I think he's pretty interesting. Definitely a name we might be sleeping on because he is talented. And then You do have McBride and Colby Parkinson. Your tight end room is, I think, much better than mine. I think I regret passing on Colby Parkinson with Gunnar Helm, but I do have Helm and Trigg. So, good team, man. Only click I don't like is the Tua click, but obviously he might be moving on somewhere and definitely contributing. And then we have no idea where that would be. So, not bad. Receiver, a little bit risky because Worthy is very boom bust. Godwin, a lot of injury risk with him. Debo feels a little undervalued, but he's going to be 30 years old, so I kind of understand why he's going that late, but not a bad click at all. Dobbs I like, McMillan I like, Bernard I like, Christian Kirk I like. I think the way you attacked it later on, pretty sound decision making. I like the team, bro. Very nice team. And then the Jamar Chase Adams 1-2 punch is really, really nice. Super balanced. Burrow stacked up, Stafford stacked up, even better. Parkinson with a nice back stack. Yeah, good team. I would give this team an A. Maybe an A-, but in the A category. I like this team more than mine, in all honesty. And then we also drafted with Napball in here, who hopefully we can have on the channel. A reminder, Nap, if you're still watching, send me a message either on X at Nice and Blunt or an email, niceandblunt@gmail.com, and we'll find a time to do that. Probably not this coming week, probably the week after that. I'll have free time. At the moment, I've got a few things lined up next week, but for sure, would love to have you on. And let's review your team just real quick. Just take a look at it. We got Jalen Hurts, Bo Nix, Kirk Cousins, Breece Hall, Ramondre Stevenson, Jadarian Price, Emmett Johnson, Dobbins, Keaton Mitchell, Ray Davis. I like that you went with 7 on this team. Feels like a good 7 RB room. And then let's just hope for the best with Breece Hall. But Price and Emmett Johnson, good rookie swings. You got a little bit of falling value on Dobbins, who feels like pretty safe floor play when healthy. Should be contributing in the roster as long as he's healthy. That's my assumption. I like Dobbins where he goes. Keaton Mitchell. Yes, we always hope for that. Always hoping for the breast. Ray Davis. Like that click as well. One of my preferred handcuffs other than Bigsby. And then at receiver, you got Puka, Nico, Devontae Smith, Waddle. So really good top 4. Phenomenal top 4. Ayuk, always risky, but I've clicked Ayuk. I've fallen for Ayuk many times in the past myself. I think it could still work out. I just think he needs to go to like Washington, or he could go to Pittsburgh. That could be interesting. There were rumors that Pittsburgh wanted to trade for him, so that could also be an interesting option. He could also go to the Patriots. They were interested in trading for him, but he could also be terrible. He could also put up another 0. Very risky, but goes pretty late. I get it. Pat Bryant, love that click. And then Keon Coleman, risky enough where I think you might have needed a 7th. I mean, an 8th. I might have taken an 8th, but I do think you need a 7th running back, so I think it's fine. And then Kincaid, Theo Johnson, Terrence Ferguson. Not bad. Decent price on Kincaid. I like the Theo Johnson price, and then Terrence Ferguson. I can't quite decide who I like the most between Ferguson and Parkinson. I think I lean a little bit in favor of Colby Parkinson these days, but last year my boy was Terrence Ferguson, and he definitely has like elite upside. He's great. He's much better down the field. So Terrence Ferguson can give you like a 60-yard touchdown more reliably than Parkinson, but I think Parkinson still probably gets more targets. So not bad at all. And then some interesting correlation with the Rams with Puka and Ferguson. I think your receiver room is strong enough where you can go 7, but because 2 of them are Ayuk and Keon, it scares me a little bit. Running back is a little bit tricky. And then quarterback is correlated a little bit. Devontae stacked up, Pat Bryant stacked up. But then the Kirk Cousins click is going to be kind of a deciding factor on like whether or not you have like some elite potential. I would give this team like a B, similar to mine. I don't know if I like it as much as Mr. Mufasa's team. I think Mufasa might have drafted a little bit better than both of us, but I do think this team is on par, if not just a little bit better than mine. I can't say I love my team too much. I've noticed anytime I'm in the 1 or 2, maybe because I haven't gotten those picks very often, I'm not like super aware of what that side of the board typically has to offer and where I need to pull up players because I hate the values. But I've noticed anytime I'm in the 2 slot, I actually don't really love my team very often. There's like a lot of snipes that happen. And other than my receiver room and Jahmyr Gibbs and Brock Bowers, I don't like my team very much. I think my team is the worst of the 3 we just spoke about. But is there anybody else in here? We have ladies first as well. Let's take a look at ladies first. She sent me an email. Sandra has Herbert, Dak Prescott, Bryce Young. Pretty solid, pretty balanced. Not bad. You did pull up Herbert a little bit, but with Ladd and Gadsden does work. Is Dak stacked up? Yes, with Lamb and Pickens. Right, you started Lamb Pickens. Right. I like it. And then Bryce Young also stacked up with Tedero McMillan. You also have Ryan Flournoy for the stack. So extremely well correlated quarterback receiver combos. Very nice. Running back with RJ Harvey, Tyler Algier, Jonah Coleman, Rachaad White, Tyjae, and Emmanuel Wilson. Love the Rachaad White, Tyjae clicks. Coleman, not quite sure about him, but had a decent showing at the combine today, so probably stays in a similar ADP range. Algier, I like a lot. You pulled him up a little bit. RJ Harvey as your first one scares me, but I do think it can work, especially if you get a good landing spot with Rachaad and maybe Tony Pollard misses some games. Tyjae, I think, has some high upside. So not the safest running back room, but definitely good enough where it can work. Not going to hate on it too bad. But then receivers super strong with Lamb, Pickens stacked up with Dak. You also have Flournoy. So if there's any missed time, you have a good spike week there. Every single Cowboys receiver on this team, basically, other than Turpin. Tedero McMillan, excellent as the 3rd. Ladd as the 4th is awesome. And then you waited a long time, definitely wise to wait that long. But Surratt at 174 is the 5th. Tesla, 15 picks past ADP, not bad at all. Flournoy, well correlated. And then Ted Hurst, nice. Like the Ted Hurst click. And then you went nice tight end room here. Oronde Gadsden, Kenyon Sadiq, and Eli Stowers. Very, very nice. Pulled up Sadiq by only 4 picks, so basically right at ADP, and then pulled up Stowers at 187, but that's who I wanted. Very nice tight end room. Top-heavy receiver room, but solid depth. I think it can totally work, and you're going to get a lot of contributions that don't need them to contribute in the first place. And then, yeah, running back is the only problem, but quarterback room is awesome. Super well correlated. I think this team is also better than mine. I would give this team an A-. I like ladies' first teams quite a bit, but obviously running back is going to be the deciding factor. I would not be surprised if I am paying the rake in this lobby. I think all 3 teams, Mufasa, Nap, and ladies first, they're either just as good, if not better than mine. I don't think I have a better team than them. Unless I just hit massively on the Jaguars combo. Unless my Jag stack is just what you need, I think I like all 3 of your teams a little bit better than mine. My team isn't terrible, but I hate my quarterback room. It's not correlated at all. I have no stacks other than the Jaguars. And my running back room is a little bit shaky beyond Jahmyr Gibbs. So, yeah, I think y'all did a little better than I did. Appreciate you, Sweet Leaf, for tuning in. Are you in this lobby? No, you're not in this lobby, but I'm sure I'll be drafting with you sometime soon. Appreciate you, man. All right. We've been live streaming for almost 3 hours now. It's been fun. And I think we're going to say goodbye now. Appreciate you, Pepper Tony. Appreciate everyone for hopping in. If you haven't done so, drop a like on the way out. Appreciate it if you can. And if you didn't do so already, subscribe as well. Really appreciate y'all subscribing. We're on the road to 10K. And if we can get to 9,900 before just the NFL draft, that'd be very nice. Very nice. Appreciate you, Mufasa and Sweet Leaf. DK next time? You think I should have taken DK Metcalf? Or are you talking DraftKings? DraftKings or DK Metcalf? Which one? Anyways, thank you, everyone, for hopping in. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace out. Good luck. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Bye-bye. Gotcha. I'm going to reach out to them, actually. See if I can get them to sponsor the channel. Because I'm a creature of habit. And visually, it doesn't seem like the most exciting place to be drafting on for the sake of streaming. But yeah, maybe we can get some good... a good deal with a sponsorship with them. We'll find out. Anyways, appreciate you, everyone. Goodbye. Later. I'll see you on Monday. On Monday, I will be back, but not tomorrow. Going to that Gorillas Expo with my girl. Later, everyone. Bye-bye.